Boy, that shit was fast that time. Sheesh. Hey, that was a quick one. She runs out of gas? Right.
This is a throwback. This is like back when I was reacting to a lot on YouTube, these types of videos, and I found another one of them. It's only 4 months old, so I think it's still trending enough.
Where's the where's the ContraPoints?
Have you ever heard of black pill though? I don't think black pill would go, you know, anywhere near that far. Like 99% of black pillers.
For a long period of history, I think that as a man, all you've basically needed is a job, and you're kind of like guaranteed almost to get a woman, because women traditionally weren't working and they needed somebody to kind of provide for a household. But I think as women have gotten the ability to control their reproductive health, so they're not like having kids really early, and then through and find, because I don't think it's...
Or was it his?
And I can wait if you want to like dig through and find, because I don't think it's anything.
No, I don't give a fuck.
Okay, yeah.
No, it's no. Let's go off of vibes, okay? Vibe debate.
Okay.
So, you know, studies are for lab coats.
Sure.
So no, it's not like we didn't already know that this shit was happening, right?
Well,
pretty much the conservatives have been.
What is this shit?
That people have been algorithmically suppressed for the content that they created based off of political views.
Okay, so that statement has not been proven anywhere.
How do you think do you think that statement has not been proven?
Because I don't think anybody... why are you asking?
Do I need to pull up the half dozen?
Yeah. Can you show me an example of this where that was proven? Because it wasn't. There was never, ever a tweet, I think, that proved that. But go ahead.
Okay, so if I pull up Matt Taibbi or what's her dick faces, Barry Weiss's shit right now, you're saying that there aren't like half a dozen to a dozen popular conservative like profiles that are basically said like throttle this account.
That wasn't the claim. The claim was whether or not content was being suppressed due to the political nature, not if political accounts were being suppressed. Right? We have a full leak from the Twitter HQ discussions. So there needs to be more now that we've got this awesome Twitter dump. There needs to be more than just, wow, 10 conservative accounts got muted. Must be due to political reasons. I need to see some proof. Show me. What do we have? I'll wait for you to link.
Why would okay, so you're already, the frame of this conversation is different than necessarily what's being asserted, but if it's insufficient for you, we can go down.
You can say, Destiny, your demand for evidence here that they would explicitly call out political content is unreasonable. And then if you want to say that, oh, okay, that's fine. But then you have to say, so that means, Destiny, we have no more proof than we did before the Twitter leaks, because the Twitter leaks.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Okay, so then tell me. Yeah, okay,
no,
go ahead.
it's you can say it's selective. You can say it's correlative. You can say that it's framed specifically to benefit conservatives. But I don't think like you asserting that this is like the same as before the release is bullshit. And can I put you've kind of narrowed the conversation down into a frame. Can I give you my frame, and then maybe we can narrow it down from there? Okay, so my frame from this is that conservatives have been bitching for the better part of a half decade to a decade, saying on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, all that kind of stuff, all our shit is being throttled, even if it's not specifically going against TOS, based off of the content that we're doing.
No one has denied
that. No one has denied that? Do I need to go pull up fucking Hunter Avalon jerking himself off raw in front of an audience of conservatives, telling them that they're being pussies and that they're being fucking weak as shit because they think they're getting throttled?
Okay.
Do I need to pull up that conversation?
I already see where this whole conversation is going to go. I'm sorry. I don't think we're ever.
You're psychic?
No. Yes. The issue has never been are conservative accounts getting hit. Everybody knows they do. The question has been, are conservative accounts getting hit because they're conservative? That's the question. That's always been the question. If it comes to like the major stuff of that's being policed on these social media websites, it's like COVID misinformation, climate change, election denialism. Of course that hits conservative accounts more, but everybody knows that. That's not a secret. Nobody's denying that. The question is whether it's happening expressly due to their politics and not because they're violating these other policies. That's always been the question.
Whose question?
Everybody's question.
That's your question. What? You represent all of the.
What's your current height, weight? I'm 6 feet tall and I weigh 192 pounds.
The conservatives right now?
Okay, hold on. But then everybody knows that Google is putting up warnings about like election and COVID misinformation. Everybody knows that affects conservatives more than Democrats.
You can, yeah.
Do you think there's been a question about that?
Okay, so no, there hasn't been a question about that, but there's also been gaslighting from basically progressives and leftists and liberals saying like, no, it's not happening, bro. Just get good. Just get better at the fucking algorithm. And you can't say it's exclusively COVID misinfo and fucking election misinfo, because our mutually good friend Lauren Southern has experienced the throttling herself.
She hasn't.
She has not.
Nope.
Do you want to bring her on here and ask her yourself if she believes that she's been throttled for content due to being a conservative?
I don't know if the problem with getting into a specific. Here's an argument that I remember having with her a long time ago. I remember that this is an off-stream personal argument where she's like, I think that conservative shit gets throttled, blah, 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 blah. And I said, no, you just suck at posting on your channel and you don't understand how the algorithm works. The problem is you post irregularly, the topics that you choose are sporadic, and you haven't built up a regular view base, blah, blah, blah. But my guess is that if you find a popular topic or you hit something, you can probably ride the algorithm just like everybody else. And like 1 or 2 weeks after that, she posted a video talking about the, I think it was the What is a Woman documentary, and she got like 500,000 views on that video. So no, her channel was not being throttled. She just has an old subscriber base that she let idle for 2 or 3 years for other reasons, not like shitting her content on her channel, but that was the thing that was keeping her from being able to like push out material to her fan base. But like, yeah, we can go, I can go through and watch, I can do this with August or anyone else. Hold on, no, I just want to be clear, because you brought her as an example. There are a lot of issues with her YouTube channel. The biggest one being that she has an old subscriber base that was left to sit and idle for 2 or 3 years. I can find thousands of YouTubers that have these issues. It has nothing to do with her being a conservative. But okay, go ahead.
True, 10 billion.
So my perspective on this issue would be that like, okay, so it's easy for me within the Overton window to operate because I'm basically within the Overton window, largely speaking. So I'm like, I'm civic nationalist. I'm, I'm not like racist. I'm not transphobic for the most part. I'm barely homophobic, just as a funny way. So for me, it's actually pretty easy to slip into the Overton window because basically a lot of my beliefs are there. But there's a whole shitload of beliefs that are, you can call them stupid. You can call them whatever the fuck you want to call them. But pro-gun, race realist, anti-immigrant, anti-vaccine, all of that kind of shit. If you talk about that shit, you're gonna get fucking nuked. And on top of that, like, I'm not saying that I'm even big enough to get throttled, but I isolated my political content from my Warhammer 40K content, and I also eliminated all of my shit, including my video about the Great Replacement. And basically, as soon as I fucking took all that shit off there, Warhammer 40K content took off like goddamn rocket fuel. And the political stuff, which by the way, has shitloads of fucking positive feedback, shitloads of heavy engagement, shitloads of positive reviews.
Okay, fine.
It's highly edited.
Okay, I accept everything you're saying is correct. Then show me the tweets then where they talk about suppressing conservative content. Because they just released all the Twitter files, so it should be in there. So then just show me that. And then I lose the debate. You're about to destroy me. So link me the tweets where they're talking internally in Twitter, like, okay, we need to figure out, like, there's a lot of conservative content. We need to suppress this. We can't have conservative content on our platform. So just link me one of those, and I'm completely destroyed. You've blown me the fuck out completely.
Okay, so now...
what do you think about the Twitter files about FBI involvement in COVID censorship? To be perfectly honest and 100% candid, haven't read the shit, probably never will. Probably should. Don't care. L nerd.
Number one, I would need time because all I've been dealing. Well, number one, I'm a wagey, so if I had this full time, maybe I could.
That's
do
fine.
this
My
a
whole
little bit
YouTube
more.
chat is conservative. I said I'll wait here for hours if you want to search through it. I've read all of these by the way. So, but I'll sit as long as I might have missed something. But yeah, I'll wait. You can Google it. You can search.
And then
yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. So how? Just out of curiosity, how long is the document?
Well, I read like the tweet threads. Wasn't the first one like 36 tweets, I think, and then I don't remember.
What, Matt Taibbi and fucking
that shit. Yeah.
Barry Weiss.
I haven't.
Okay, so what are you saying is the like objective thread where they just released everything?
Well, these are called the Twitter leaks because these are leaks that are containing like emails and shit from internal Twitter conversations, right?
Do you think that, like, so for instance, I communicate with my work friends all the time via professional email and professional Microsoft Teams. Do you think that when I'm
just look at every YouTube VOD. Every time he reads my comments, it's from Twitch chat. It's true.
communicating in those servers, I'm like, oh, these customers, they're a bunch of stupid bitches. I wish they wouldn't call. What a bunch of fucking assholes.
I understand.
Like, do you understand that they might say, oh, we need to suppress this COVID misinfo, not, hey, we need to suppress these conservatives?
Cool. I understand what you're saying, but then you have to go back to what I said originally. This is not a historic leak, and nothing has been leaked. I have to use the exact same assumptions and conjecture that I used before. Nothing has been leaked that's relevant then. Because you're telling me that, okay, fine, it was a historic leak of all the internal Twitter comms, but they didn't admit to anything. Obviously, they're not going to admit to it.
Well, hold on. So, but this is where I feel like you're walking into framing that I don't necessarily have. So my biggest butthurt, which I think would reflect in my tweets, my biggest butthurt about this, it might not even be a perspective that you've taken on in the past, but this is something that progressives have absolutely fucking done, and liberals have done too, which is basically, you're not being suppressed, you just suck. Like that was absolutely a fucking
because I think for a lot of it, for a lot of it, that's true, But nobody, if people are saying this, they're wrong, but I've had these exact conversations. Nobody is saying that, like, you can just post, like, election or COVID or climate change misinformation, because, like, you're literally getting shit that pops up on your videos. You know those videos are getting fucked in the algorithm 100%.
Sure.
But like but the idea that you're being suppressed just because you're a conservative, no, bro, people on the left,
that's never a frame that I've taken. That's like correlative.
You're just saying that right now. You're saying that conservatives are being suppressed because they're conservative. Bro, everybody complains about, black creators are complaining that they were getting suppressed because they're black.
I've never fucking said that. Okay, so if I get on there right now and if I start taking like a libertarian gun position or like fuck the Fed, ban the Fed shit.
So you don't care about Twitter censoring information related to COVID and makes you take useless vaccines that obviously made you sicker than usual? I can't tell if you're trying to be serious about that shit. One. But two, I care. I'm not going to read Twitter shit about the vaccine because I'll read medical journals about the vaccine if I care. And I mean, another thing, the vaccines actually fucking work. I don't see where we're getting the idea that they don't. What is this? The old regime at Twitter, governed by its own whims and biases, it sure looks like the new regime has the same problem. I pose it in both cases. I think those journalists who were reporting on a story of public importance should be reinstated. Mari, this is a real question, not rhetorical. What's your opinion? Rather than rigorously pursuing truth, you are virtue signaling to show that you are good in the eyes of the media elite to keep one foot in both worlds.
If I fucking do a bunch of shit that correlates with libertarianism or right-wing fucking thought, it's going to be perfectly algorithmically fine. Because all you're saying, by the way, I want to point this out. What you're saying is that I'm saying that conservatives are being suppressed just for the nature of being conservative.
Yes.
What I'm actually saying is that conservatives want to have a broader conversation about a variety of topics that include topics that are wildly unpopular with progressives and liberals. And as a result of wanting to have those conversations responsibly or irresponsibly, they're being algorithmically suppressed.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
They were told that they weren't being algorithmically suppressed.
They're not.
And then it turns out that they fucking were.
Okay, show me that. Show me that.
Okay, fine. I'll fucking look at the goddamn shit. But at the same time, like, I don't even know how this is deniable or how it doesn't even correlate with your fucking worldview. How is conservatives want to talk about like topics that are unpopular with the mainstream media and are not necessarily monetizable?
Okay, hold on.
Correlating with their algorithmic suppression. How is that not true?
Careful with everything that you're stacking on here, because eventually what you're doing is you're building your own demise. If you're saying like, well, they want to have conversations that aren't very popular with anybody, that a lot of people don't want to have, that doesn't sound like algorithmic suppression. That sounds like the algorithm working as intended. If they're really unpopular points and nobody wants to hear them, stop. Wait, stop. Use your fucking brain.
Listen.
Use your brain for 1 second. If it's not a popular talking point and people generally don't want to see it or engage with it, then the algorithm is going to do its job and probably not show it to as many people because it's going to show videos that people do want to engage with. But that's not political or algorithmic suppression. That's the algorithm. What do you think algorithm means? What do you think is the purpose of the algorithm?
What do you think Stefan Molyneux and fucking Nick the Knife Fuentes have to say about exactly what you just said?
They didn't get algorithmically suppressed. They got banned from the platform.
And what do you think was happening before they got fucking banned?
I don't know. What are you implying?
I'm implying that basically what was going on is that their conversations about wildly unpopular subjects within the Overton window, like race realism or fucking Christian nationalism or whatever the fuck you want to talk about, was more popular than the platforms wanted them to be. As a result, they likely throttled the content, and eventually they just banned them outright from the platform when they could find the fucking TOS violations that gave them the justifications in order to get banned.
I understand that's your position. Now prove it. Because you have zero evidence for that.
This is like saying water is fucking wet.
Okay, so you have no evidence?
If the vaccines saved the day, we would have seen half of Africa dead. I don't understand. Is this supposed to be, you like racist? Do you want half of Africa dead? I don't understand. I don't get it. Is it supposed to be a race joke? I don't get it. Conservatives have begun to distrust educated sources because they aren't saying what they want to hear. Yeah, legitimately. I can't wait for Contra to take a sober look at that conversation. Which one? I'm curious, do you think Destiny is downplaying this or has the right to read read on the leaks and not looking at it from a biased lens? I haven't read them, so I can't make a case. I'm just trying to listen to the arguments from both ends, and things that Destiny are saying right now seem reasonable. I want to see ContraPoints give his best to push back against it.
There's nothing historic in these Twitter leaks.
I haven't had the opportunity to read your objective evidence yet.
No,
and by the way, like, this is another thing.
I can't give you evidence. You're the one making the positive claim. I can't prove a negative. Do you want me to dig through the millions of lines of ML code?
Do you want me to go through? What's my positive claim, by the way? What's my positive claim?
Your positive claim is that the algorithm has been tweaked in a way to disfavor certain content, not because of how it performs with an audience, but because of the political biases of the people that work at Google or Twitter. That's your claim.
This is objectively true.
Okay,
this is so true.
Then show me any evidence at all for that. Now that we have the historic.
Should I go to YouTube and should I check race realism in the YouTube algorithm? 922 views. The myth of race debunked in 3 minutes. 2 million. Critical realism applications. Race, gender, and intersectionality by Angela Martinez. 1K. Race realism. 471 views. Derek Bell. 912. Race realist joins T1T. 80K. So how?
I live in Morocco, and I'm saying the vaccines were barely used in Africa, ergo they didn't do much to save the world from COVID? You can't be serious, man. Are you serious? Did Destiny just contradict himself? He said the algorithm was doing its job, but also the algorithm doesn't suppress unpopular opinions? No, he said the algorithm was doing its job by suppressing unpopular opinions. Marcus, Destiny's point is that the reason why the algorithm isn't showing something like Nick Fuentes' race realism or whatever to a broader audience is because these things weren't that popular of a thing to broadcast. Counterpoint's position is that the reason why these conservative or even alt-right talking points are not being shown to people is because the algorithm is sniping certain ideas or certain content based on its political affiliation.
How is it? Oh, race realism by our good friend Jose. 80K. So how is it that schizo posters? How is it that schizo posters? No. Let me make this point. How is it that schizo posting right wingers are getting less than 4,000 views talking about the perspective, but then fucking leftists and progressives are getting 100,000 views dunking on the perspective? How is that possible?
Okay, so right now, notice how we had a historic Twitter files leak, and your evidence is now Googling and showing me like the view count for videos. I just want to see.
Do you want to engage with what I said?
No, you're not giving me an argument. I just want to see the.
I've given you a solid fucking argument.
Okay,
do I need to slow down and break this down? I'll slow down and break it down.
So wait. So then we acknowledge then there was nothing in the Twitter leaks. There's nothing.
No, absolutely not. I don't concede this shit at all. As a matter of fact, I would literally go look at the Twitter leaks. I would read them all, and then I would come back to you.
Okay.
But can you engage with what I just said? Because I'm a bust out a sticky note.
You're not giving me an argument. I don't know what you're arguing right now.
I've given you an argument.
I don't know, man. I don't know how this is about. Cypher, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Thank you. Been sharing a lot of love, Cypher. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I wonder how Counterpoints would deal with the fact that there has been an explosion in popularity among several conservative leaning people on YouTube. People like Matt Walsh exploding in popularity. Sneeko exploding. Andrew Tate exploding. These people exploded in popularity in the algorithm, were not targeted outside of misinformation, and then got clapped, had to get clapped manually based on their content getting a bit too weird. Now, granted, I don't think any of them should have been banned, and they're gone now? Yeah, but that was a manual ban. The point is about the algorithm juicing them. How long has Crowder held the spot for? I don't know, but that guy gets crazy views.
Okay, I'll break it down. I'll literally sticky note it. All right, so
I thought we were talking about Twitter and not YouTube. Yeah, but he brought it over to YouTube, so I started talking about YouTube on Twitter. I legitimately don't. I don't know how Twitter's algorithm works. Oh yeah, true. If you guys like the content, if you guys want to see me continuously stream on YouTube, you want me to broadcast on YouTube, talking about Destiny's content, talking about various different content that I can't watch on Twitch, or even just vibe with some of the stuff I would be able to watch on Twitch, but you want to see more on YouTube, then like the fucking video, all right? It tells me that there's people willing to engage and interact with the content, as well as it tells the algorithm that there's people who are willing to engage with the content, broadcast it more to different people. That's something that you would like to do. If that's if you would like a more ad-free viewing experience as well, because YouTube allows me to be able to do that, then like the damn video. All right, it costs you nothing to like the damn. But also, if you would like to donate, that is really appreciated. I would really appreciate donations, seeing as I am trying to go through putting myself through a coding boot camp, so I can get my certificates and I can get started on a career, just in case streaming doesn't work out and shit like that. And also, it would help with some other shit inside of life, you know how it is. Yeah, I would appreciate it. Thanks for thinking about it.
I said conservatives, through virtue of what they want to talk about, lean towards certain unpopular subjects.
Also, the topics you're giving me aren't even conservative topics. These are like conspiracy theory things. What about videos critical of Biden? Why go through race
that's not
realism?
my argument.
Okay. What is your argument?
Hey, Cypher, thank you for gifting
some people want to engage in
memberships.
these conversations, and you can see the political...
Accept the memberships. You gotta accept it. I don't know why they do it this way. You have to, like, accept the membership. Accept them, accept them, accept them, accept them. Nice. Chaps caught one. Jojo caught one. Mark caught one. Roy... Sorry, cancer. Roy caught one. And Skeptical all caught one. Thank you for subbing, then gifting 5, Cypher.
divide between the two tribal groups, and one of them is fucking at 100,000 views, and one of them is at 4, despite talking about the same thing.
Oh, and your
how
argument,
is that not evidence?
It's
Explain to me how it's not evidence.
I don't. What do you think an algorithm is? I need to find out what page we're on here. When somebody talks about like a searching algorithm, what does that mean to you?
To me, it means basically a search for keywords. Well, okay, for YouTube specifically, okay? Keywords, engagement, positive
True
and negative.
engagement. What is
in
that?
a formula that then decides how...
Do you think it's possible to run a site like Twitter unbiased? Technically, I think it could, but I don't think it should. I think we should be biased towards certain ideas, like you should be biased against the idea of hosting CP on that site. We should be biased against hosting, acts of terrorism, calls to violence, calls to murder, shit like that, whatever, right? We should be against teaching. God. It reminds me. I'm sorry. I just got reminded of the most legendary thing I remember ever seeing, dude. I have to tell Chad, dude. I have to derail a little bit. I was playing Dota 2 for a while in one of my spurts where I played Dota for like a couple months. I was playing Dota 2, and I was playing with a guy whose name in Dota was literally the Wikipedia URL for how to make a pipe bomb. His name on Steam and his name in game was the Wikipedia URL for how to make a pipe bomb. So if you looked up his shit, you'd be put on a watch list. Shit like that should not be allowed on like Twitter.
Popular a piece of content will
You shouldn't necessarily try to be totally bias free, but try to be aware, transparent about your biases as possible. I agree.
be.
When you say decides how popular a piece of content will be, can you explain what you mean by that?
Sure.
I mostly agree with what you said so
for-
far. I'm just making sure we're
Yeah. So basically, if let's use YouTube as an example because it's something that you and I are both familiar with, right? If there's a huge click through, you have a good title, right? You have a good title and a good thumb. Then you have long engagement, meaning a majority of the people who click on your video watch it for a decent chunk of time. Then you also have good engagement, like you have a whole bunch of comments.
Sure.
People are passionate about the subject they want to talk about.
We largely agree. So, broadly speaking, an algorithm is an incredibly sophisticated way of tracking user behavior when they're presented with certain videos. And the goal of any social media algorithm is to put more content in front of your face that you're likely to spend more time watching and have a positive impression of and more time engaging with in a variety of ways, right? Whether it's comments, thumbs up, whatever. That's what, quote unquote, the algorithm is, right? When people talk about like algorithm poisoning or being a bias in the algorithm, what people are saying is you have a video that otherwise could do really well, but YouTube has decided to suppress that video, right? Now, there are some forms of this that YouTube does that we know happens. So for instance, if your video gets flagged as being like adult content, right? You're fucked, right? And I'm sure there are videos you've seen where when you go to click through it, it's like, warning, this might have adult content. Or maybe you upload something and it's like, warning, this has been flagged as adult content, right? That's a form of algorithmic suppression, yes? Okay. We also know that there are certain, like, I'll say broadly speaking, conspiracy theories that YouTube also openly algorithmically suppresses. So the big ones that I was aware of were things around climate change, things around the coronavirus and vaccines, basically anything that causes like that little thing to pop up underneath where it's like, read more information here, this may be misleading or whatever. Those probably get fucked with by the algorithm, right? Race realism might fall under that. I don't know if that's like one of their identified conspiracy theories, okay? However, what I don't know is, does YouTube say, we're going to suppress this guy's content because he does political content of a nature that we don't like? That's what I don't know. And that was the proof that I was looking for in the Twitter shit or in YouTube shit or anything.
There's a sub point here though, and also there's like a question.
What the hell is that pink
that's
shit?
being asked, like by the nature of our conversation. So number one, the question that's being asked is, should certain stuff be algorithmically suppressed? So for instance, if Stefan Molyneux and Nick Fuentes were like wildly popular despite spreading what you believe to be misinformation or whatever, and they basically are able to achieve like a race realist, neo-Christian nationalist, theocratic fascist coup because they're just so wildly popular across the entire country, should YouTube and Twitter just sit idly by while they get popular off of what a lot of people view to be lies or propaganda? So that's like a question that's like over our entire conversation that you and I are having right now.
Sure.
Right? Then in the frame that you're doing right now, you're identifying like a variable, and then
Do you play video games? Not as much anymore, but I love them. What is your favorite Dota strat games? Dota was an old favorite of mine. My current like favorite game, I don't really know. I guess that I actively play is probably Escape from Tarkov. I'm looking forward to some other games though. Escape from Tarkov is probably my favorite game that I actively play. Strategy game, probably Total War Warhammer. Is probably my favorite strategy game. So yeah.
Going into sub-variables. So the variable that you're saying is, of
Maybe
course
Company of
conservatives
Heroes
aren't
too.
suppressed. Ben Shapiro is popular. Steven Crowder is popular. Fucking Lauren Southern, despite all her edgy bullshit, she's popular. You know, if they just rode the algorithmic wake the way that everybody else does, then they're not beholden to any more suppression than anybody else who talks about controversial subjects. I think that's true. But under that, like, concession or whatever, there are subtopics that fall under conservatism, whether you're talking about like racialism or Christian nationalism or isolationism or COVID fucking vaccine information or whatever.
Oh yeah, Dwarf Fortress
all of those
is
subtopics
based.
correlate with being conservative to a very strong degree, and
right
as a result, those groups are being suppressed. You can say it's just because of those variables, but then you don't really have opposition. You have controlled opposition.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think I understood the last part. So you're saying that it's upsetting that there are certain topics that that tend to be conservative that they can't talk about, right?
No, that's actually, so to be honest, that's not even upsetting to me personally. I probably land within the Overton window through me. Like, I've talked to Lauren about fucking COVID shit all the time. I think she's a fucking lunatic about some of it. But at the same time, whether or not you should be able to have that conversation in public is like a different question. Whether or not you should be able to do it on YouTube or Twitter or Twitch, or even to forward like more conservative shit like zero immigration. Like, what about somebody forwarding zero immigration makes it so like they should just not be able to talk about that subject on the internet without that topic being severely beat down by the algorithm?
What is somebody? Are you asking me why it should be suppressed, or?
Sure. Yeah, that's actually what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Why should some of these edgier topics be suppressed?
So, if I had to guess, based on everything that's happened, my guess is that social media companies are deathly afraid of being ultra regulated by Congress. That Congress is about to step in and start to fuck their worlds up, and so they're trying to be proactive in getting rid of some bad stuff off the platforms because they know that if they're not, Congress is going to step in and start to do it. And that's probably what they're deathly afraid of. That would be my guess.
Okay, okay, I agree with you. I think it would probably be more about monetization than it would be about Congress. But either way, they're afraid that third parties are going to come in and tell them how to do their jobs differently. They don't want to do that as a result, you know, because they want to make more money and they want to be more visible. Okay, we can disagree on that. So my point being, though, is like there's also like two tiers of conversation. There's monetizable conversations, which are basically conversations that should have money attached to them, marketing, advertisement, and all that kind of stuff. And then there's also conversations that should be had for like the sake of public discourse. So basically what would be interesting to me is if we made like a two-tiered system where basically YouTube said, hey, you can't talk about like race realism or COVID denial or election denial or whatever and be monetized, but we're also not going to algorithmically suppress it. So that would, I'm not saying that's necessary. I'm saying that would be interesting. And if you go to my Twitter profile, like what I'm flossing on basically is not whether or not, for me, I feel like we're splitting hairs. It's not whether or not like this shit is happening. To me, this is obvious. You're saying you need more evidence. Love you.
Well, no. What I'm just saying is because I don't know what was released that was so historic about these Twitter files that we didn't already know. And everybody's acting.
Well, I think we already knew it. I think people were just pretending it didn't exist.
No. I mean, when I say no, I mean in the real sense, not in the conservative sense. Like, oh, we all know that fucking children are being raped by Hillary Clinton. I mean, like, actually know. Like, real life adult people know, right? That okay. All of a sudden there was a whole bunch of information. It was like, oh my God, we just discovered something new. There's a new fact that now we know 100% like actually happened. I don't know what those new facts are. It seems to me like nothing new has been released. Nothing new has been leaked. Nope, there's no information we'd already know. Like, but that's what I'm curious. What is it?
I'll pull it up.
Okay.
Let's pull it up.
So let's find the Twitter files, and your editor can just do this later, and chat can fucking see it. Thread, the Twitter files, the removal of Donald Trump. That's not the one we were looking for, right? Isn't there a better one?
I don't know. The Hunter Biden thing was a big thing that everybody said was a huge like bombshell, but I didn't see anything.
Ooh, okay, let's just do that because I'm already familiar with that one.
Good. Okay, great.
Okay, so the son of the president, somebody who's running for the general election.
Who the fuck joined?
He basically has his laptop left at a tech store.
Make yourself aware.
The tech store releases it to somebody. That somebody starts posting all the shit as stories, and then the government steps in, and to my knowledge, says, "Hey, can you slow this down?" And Twitter says, "Yeah, boss, no problem."
I need tweets for that. And before you want to go and search, because you're not going to accept this, what you just said was not the case. There was zero government intervention in the Hunter Biden story. That should have been. Now it's not, because you fucking conservatives are dishonest fucks. Okay, but that should have actually been the headline for those stories. It was confirmed by Twitter leaks that there was no government intervention on behalf of suppressing that story. That was a decision that Twitter made internally, all on their own. But I'll wait if you want to find something different for it.
Okay, hold on. All right, so this is where I feel like we should probably come back to it when I can fucking read it, but don't be surprised if I want to come back to it. And if you say no, I'm gonna be a little pissy on it.
Connor, I'm about to dip, but I want to pop in here just to challenge you to do something during this conversation that you're having with Destiny. Let's ruminate. You and I talked very briefly.
My ball sacks. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
You and I talked very briefly on Twitter last night about this, but Twitter did an internal audit of this last year, and algorithmically it's overwhelmingly clear that conservatives are amplified on Twitter. So I think that
amplified or naturally popular.
Wait, did he just say that? Did he just say that? Wait, now you want to have a sophisticated conversation about what the algorithm does, but before it was 100% definitely shadow banning and algorithmic suppression? Sorry, I'm done. Finish your conversation.
They were not able to verify as to whether or not.
How was that a dunk?
Because that was the exact answer that I gave you when you were like, well, there's some really unpopular content and it doesn't seem like it's getting any views, even though it's really unpopular. I think it was because they were suppressed. And I'm like, well, maybe it's just really unpopular.
I want you to say this with your whole fucking chest, okay? Because seriously, I feel like you're dancing right now. So are you saying?
Wait, no. Hold on. Let me finish. Wait, let me finish. Wait, you can't just say I'm dancing when I'm being clear as day.
Okay, so I'll allow me to be clear as day in response. Are you saying that if Nick wasn't fucking banned or throttled, or if Stefan Molyneux wasn't banned or throttled, they wouldn't be 10x more fucking popular than they are right now?
They probably would be if they weren't banned, yeah.
Okay, so you're just saying that they put out their content and then it just free flows? That whatever their popularity when they were finally banned was the same?
They got banned. Bro, why do you keep comparing banned with YouTube or Twitter algorithmic suppression? They're banned. Why are you comparing these two things?
Okay, let's go down to brass tacks. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think you need to square that, Connor. Especially because
wait. I want him to respond to that. Can he respond?
The general right-wing position is that conservatives are being suppressed and conservative views on Twitter are being suppressed when actually there's evidence to the contrary. And in these Matt Taibbi links and the Barry Weiss links, you're talking about a handful of cherry-picked examples.
I'm gonna lose it. All right. So what do you mean when you say amplified?
That the algorithm will amplify right-wing accounts to a greater extent than left-wing, that they constantly show up in people's feeds more, that there's more engagement.
Why?
They don't know. And we talked about this on Twitter. You asked me that question, and I cited the article. They were not able to determine that yet as to whether or not that it was a result of just superior audience engagement, that right-wing viewpoints are just genuinely more popular than left-wing viewpoints, which seems unlikely but possible, or if it was some sort of issue.
Can I tell you why? Because right-wingers get hit twice. They get hit from their audience circle jerking themselves to fucking death, believing everything that the fucking dude says. Yeah, king, go off. Yes, queen, love you so much. Then they also get fucking hate piled by progressives who feel like they run the fucking site. And then those people fight.
Why would that be exclusive to right-wing content as opposed to left-wing content?
Because progressives all fucking agree with each other and they love circle jerking. And conservatives are too exhausted fucking having a normal goddamn life and having kids and paying bills to spend 80% of their fucking lives on Twitter fighting
Hold on. First of all,
so wait a minute.
Bro,
Right-wingers don't hate watch and the left...
Wait. These same conservatives that are too busy doing crazy shit and have bills to pay were the people that originated fucking QAnon, okay? So calm the fuck down, all right? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, look, that may very well be the case, but that strains credulity to me, the idea that, number one, conservatives don't hate watch left-wing content, and number two, the idea
How do conservatives hate watch?
Say what?
How do conservatives hate watch?
Look
Do
at,
they watch us on?
Look at how many of them are meat watching Hunter Biden, bro. These guys have like more collection of Hunter Biden dick pics than anybody on the internet.
How do they look at Hunter Biden's penis? Do they look at Hunter Biden's penis by... Because they fucking go to Steven Crowder, or they go to Fleckus, or they go to another fucking conservative who's already gone through the fucking trouble of compiling all the information. So they're not going into progressive circles in order to fight progressives. They're going into conservative circles in order to find the information that they feel like finding. Ooh. This is all Sargon does, by the way. All he does is compile, or used to anyways, all he does is fucking compile progressive bullshit to be easily fucking digested by a conservative audience that isn't any more curious to engage with progressives.
All right, well, so again, the theory that you proffer may be the case. I'm not a conservative, so I don't know how you guys hate watch versus how progressives hate watch, but...
I'll tell you there are very few conservatives who are watching
wait a minute,
Hassan Piker from
the bottom line is the people doing the internal audit at Twitter were not able to identify the reason, but the facts are that that in 7 out of 8 countries examined, left-wing politicians were amplified to a lesser extent than right-wing politicians. And in terms of U.S. media, they were right-wing media outlets were amplified to a greater extent than left-wing. So my thing is, during this conversation with Destiny, you need to find a way to square that, because it seems to me that your general thesis is that the right is being squashed and has been squashed on Twitter, when that's clearly not the case. Now, if you want to make a more nuanced argument that some conservative topics are treated as taboo by the pre-Musk Twitter establishment, that's a completely different argument. But the problem is, I think this is the problem that Destiny has too, maybe I'm wrong, which is that conservatives are taking this and blowing it wildly out of proportion. See? Conservatives have been silenced left, right, and center. The left has a huge advantage on Twitter, and it's just not true.
Okay. So I would say that conservative popularity is like Streisand effect and relatively natural. So one of the things that we're talking about that I want to isolate, you're talking about it's what's the word that you're using where it's like enhanced? What was the word that you said? Amplified. So amplified to me means that there's an artificial means through which the message is being spread. It's being made louder. But you haven't said that there's an artificial means for it being spread. You're just saying that it's naturally popular.
I think that's what he is saying.
Success.
That's what he is saying.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So conservative success is in spite of the algorithm.
No.
The algorithm.
He's saying that you're just making that
artificial shit of the algorithm.
You're making that up. You're just making that up.
Okay.
Because if it was the case that conservatives were being suppressed, then it seems like they wouldn't be getting amplified.
What kind of conservatives, man?
They don't know. Twitter doesn't know if the amplification is a result of either just greater popularity for right-wingers, which is possible, but again, unlikely, or a secondary effect, which is that the algorithm and the coding that goes into Twitter somewhere along the way in the zeros and ones just happens to favor conservative account.
But he's
I'm gonna flip the argument.
He's just saying that it's not happening just because they're conservatives, right? Like nobody is like flagged the accounts saying, "Oh, you're gonna get amplified."
So wait, was it found out that conservatives have better like algorithmic luck? Like they get treated better for the algorithm? I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think it's because they can make funny jokes. I'm just being honest. I think it's... listen, I'm gonna crack the case wide open. It's because they can actually be funny and we can't. They can tell good jokes and we just can't. We're completely cucked on our comedy. Absolutely cucked and hamstringed. Like, we ain't got good memes, man. Because it might insult somebody. So we ain't got good memes. That's my opinion. I think conservatives are way funnier. I also think genuinely conservatives are more like chilled people.
Because you're conservative, right? That's not the argument that's being put forth.
Yeah, he's just saying they're naturally popular.
Especially if you compare conservatives to like lefties on Twitter. Like, lefties on Twitter are the worst. It's just terrible people. Just absolutely abhorrent people.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah,
I'm here to steel man Connor because I don't think you're making this argument very well. Destiny said he wanted to see the evidence. Stop.
You come
Listen, Destiny said he wanted to see the evidence. Listen, there's evidence that exists that supports your argument, and I just want to see you use it because I want to hear Destiny's arguments against it. I DM'd both of you guys the part of Barry Weiss's Twitter thread, right? Tweets 3 through 6. You've got conservative commentators that have tags on their profiles that say "do not amplify." What is that if not an artificial manipulation of whether or not their content gets amplified through the algorithm?
I'm going to repeat the exact same thing that I said earlier.
Destiny's probably going to say it's happening to them because they put out some kind of misinformation or something and not because they are conservative. It just happens to have overlap with them being conservative, and you can probably find thousands of other accounts that have do not amplify that are not conservative. I'm imagining that's his response.
Okay. The original claim, now I know the goalposts want to run all over the place, okay? But the original claim was that there is content that is being suppressed on Twitter because of the political leaning of the tweeter. Because of the political nature of the content.
I've never made that argument.
Okay, then you guys have nothing then. It's so much cope because that's I guarantee you, I'll bet my fucking life right now. I'll bet every fucking dollar that I own that I know that you've made, I bet a million times you said in the past, oh my God, conservatives are being censored because they're conservative. Oh my God, it's the political censoring of conservative ideology. I know you said that.
And now I spend more time fighting conservatives than I do jerking them off. You don't fucking know me.
But that's fine. So now your claim. Your claim.
How much money you want to bet?
You're fine. Your claim has been baby walked to something so harmless that nobody gives a fuck. And then my original point that I said still stands. So nothing here was leaked that was important. Nothing changed any of our understanding of anything. No new information was leaked. Everything is as we thought it was before. That's it.
And most important, the broader point that conservatives try to make, which is that they're being censored, is actually contradicted by the data. That broader claim is just not true.
Well, hang on. Like, this is what Barry Weiss had to present. Our screenshots saying that here are some conservative commentators, and on their profiles internally, they're slapped with tags that say "search blacklist, trends blacklist, do not amplify."
Yeah,
okay,
but you would have to know.
But wait. Let me amend my statement. You're right. She has evidence that some Twitter accounts of some conservatives were censored or de-amplified in some ways. But
why were they censored or de-amplified? This will come back to the original argument.
The problem is the broader right-wing argument.
No, ignore that. No, I just want to get exactly with what Supreme said, okay? Supreme,
please.
Okay? Here's the two issues. One is you would need to see the full blacklist, number one, not a selective publishing. That is the most bullshit-ass fucking lack of...
Yeah, he's going to say exactly what I thought he would. Oh, there's probably thousands of people that are blacklisted off of that are not just conservative. You have no evidence to show that they're blacklisted just because of conservative positions. They're probably blacklisted because of misinformation or this or that or making threats or something.
Transparent bullshit I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like this should be like a 10-minute argument.
So that's number one. And then number two, the question is, why were they blacklisted? That is paramount. It is the only question that matters. You could show me a list of 100 conservative accounts that are blacklisted. That doesn't matter. Now, let's say in the back end they've got a flag for accounts where like, these are accounts that have threatened violence against other people. Maybe there's 100 conservative accounts that got flagged that way. If that's the case, then there's no problem. The original claim was that people were blacklisted because of their political nature. That was the claim. Not that there's no blacklist at all.
Motherfucker!
Every single human being, every person, everybody did.
Well, Connor, you made that claim earlier.
That was my claim. When was my
earlier
claim?
when you talked
that
about
it was exclusively because they were conservative.
Sure, I can tell you when you talked about race realism versus debunking race or whatever, that this was somehow we were meant to infer conclusively that this was evidence of like algorithmic manipulation. I want to make it clear. I came in to steel man your argument. I'm glad that you gave the answer that I would give, Destiny. I just want to make it clear that I'm not of the mind. Twitter is
Did I not talk about the fucking sub variables? Like, is that not part of the fucking conversation where I basically said, because conservatives want to talk about certain things that progressives and people in tech don't want you to have a conversation about, this is what's being blacklisted. And it's a sub variable of being conservative. You can probably be a Jewish fucking neoconservative anti-tax fucking jack-off like fucking Ben Shapiro and not get algorithmically suppressed despite being fucking, transphobic because you have enough oppression points to fucking do it and you're not an anti-Semite.
You haven't proved any of that. They're judging by oppression points? Just one piece of evidence for that.
Did I just say, well, okay, if you want to just engage with my hyperbole, that's perfectly fine. But basically what I said is, Ben Shapiro is the right flavor of conservative to be popular despite his transphobia.
Sure,
do you have a problem with my less hyperbolic statement?
Yeah, you're making it sound like if he had one or two different features that he would be algorithmically suppressed for his political leanings.
Do you think if he was America first, he would be fucking as algorithmically supported?
Just by being America first? Yes. But now if he was saying like COVID isn't real, then I think that there are certain conspiracies that the social media platforms are shooting down and it will hurt your account.
I literally think like 80% of content creators, especially with the ones that you fuck with who are like fringe fucking lunatics, would viscerally disagree with everything that you've said for the past 45 minutes.
Yeah,
they'd be like, yeah, of course I'm shadow banned.
Everything they do.
I just think no, fuck you. Some of these people are talented and you're being a dick.
Okay.
So
yeah, I know. Blame the algorithm. It's the algorithm. Oh,
I'm blaming you, motherfucker. I'm blaming you.
Way before you weird fucking political guy.
I'm gonna blame the algorithm because we only have 80 likes on this goddamn video and we could have more likes and we get more people inside of the juicer arena. I'm gonna blame the algorithm. I just realized I was too deep into Dwarf Fortress. Holy shit. I just realized I was too deep into the mines. Okay? You should like the goddamn video. We only got 80 likes on this fucking video. We got 240 people inside of the arena. That don't make no sense. Not a damn lick of sense. Don't make no sense. Right, put a like on the fucking video, alright? After this, I think they have another debate about that shit. Also, Sneeko takes a look at a soy boy, apparently, who hates Andrew Tate. Yeah, and then, or we can go to the, finish up the Destiny talking to a black pillar who watched some of these weird videos. I don't know. There's a bunch of weird shit from Destiny. What is this? Destiny debate turns completely on rails, very personal. Who the hell, what is that? I don't know. We'll find out.
Guys got on fucking, YouTube, when it was just us playing video games, the same crying and
Part 2 goes for like 4 hours, if I remember correctly. Is there a part 2?
Bullshit about the fucking algorithm was still there.
Can somebody link me a part 2?
Oh, so they changed the algorithm. SEO doesn't work anymore. Oh, I can't put things in the header of my HTML file to get preferential ranking. Oh, the poison. This is just a new flavor of an old fucking argument. That my content, where I make some weird thing and I've got some dude with like fucking 500 IQ when it's measured on an intelligence scale, when he's got like the weirdest fucking esoteric knowledge. When I sit in front of a fucking camera and I talk about racial IQ differences for 25 hours and I'm not getting 1 million views on my videos, it's because of the fucking algorithm bullshit. Yeah, it's the same crybaby bullshit. That's what I think.
Okay, so hold on, just to be clear before anybody else jumps in. So, Lauren, Steph, Nick, Sargon, fucking all of these people, they're just a bunch of crybaby pussies who need to get good.
I don't know for all of them if they've done content that hits the algorithm in a really bad way. So it's hard for me to say. But like, Lauren's channel would probably work fine if she posted regularly and posted content that was relevant to her subscriber base. Yes.
What if she talked about the things that she wanted to talk about?
It depends on what she wants to talk about.
What if she wanted to talk about race realism? What if she wanted to talk about zero immigration? What if she wanted to talk about European history? What if she wanted to talk about
European history? Do the next Twitter counterpoints debate where Cherry jumps in when you're done with this. Thanks for the 20. I don't have a link for it. Do you have a link? Is cosplaying Steve Jobs where you turn inverted filter on? Yeah, I like that, dude. Hey, listen, man, what can I say, man? Fucking Frozone over here. I like it, dude. It's fun.
Just gonna do the say a million things. What if she wanted to talk about that? What if she wanted to rape kids? What if she wanted to talk about 80%
of the time, motherfucker?
If you want a real answer to me, then you have to ask me one topic at a time, and not just flood a bunch of random shit because you know you're not standing on solid ground, right? If she wants to talk about race realism, that might be one of like the flagged topics on YouTube. That's a no-go, like COVID misinformation, right? If you want to talk about zero immigration, I don't think that's a flagged topic. It would probably be fine, but no, it's gonna depend on the.
I think I figured out. By the way, you only need to make 2x2 bedrooms.
topic you're talking about. The fact that you don't even know this proves to me that you guys don't do any research when it comes to actually making your channels work. You just post some shit, it doesn't do well, and you blame the algorithm.
Oh,
this
you
is
guys
what people
are
have done on
DMing
YouTube
me
since 2006. People do this all the time. But
okay, so just to steel man what fucking Supreme said against what you just said, you're saying that what happened was some of these accounts on Twitter, they fucking touched the radioactive topics. They got basically told, do not amplify, and that's just their fault for touching the radioactive topic.
I don't know why those accounts got with those marks on their account. I don't know. We just got the historic Twitter leak, so tell me.
Pull up the chat thread or the thing from Barry Weiss.
Does it say why they got blacklisted?
Probably not.
Well, and to make it clear,
probably not.
Stop. To make it clear, Connor, we know that there were internal discussions and entire like assessments of why people would be getting banned or timed out or whatever, and we were specifically not shown that for these accounts. Doesn't that raise?
Oh, hold on. Destiny made a stupid point I want to point out from earlier. So
just skate by that one.
Oh wait, no, sorry. No, go ahead. I'll address it. Sorry, let's not skate. Go.
Okay, so we know from that same Twitter thread that there were internal discussions and entire write-ups of why certain actions were taken on certain accounts, but we weren't shown why those actions were taken on the write-ups. We weren't shown that for these accounts that had these search blacklists or whatever. We were explicitly not shown that. Doesn't that raise a few questions?
Probably what they said is this person touched a radioactive topic, therefore they're a pussy.
Wait. Why speculate? They can just show us.
Yes, because these are the leaks.
Because it's right-wing propaganda.
No, but Elon owns it now, and he's the one advertising that he's going to blow the lid off this like right-wing suppression on Twitter or whatever. He's got all the documents. Why isn't he showing us? If that's what they say, why wouldn't he just show us?
It's probably inconvenient to the narrative because it's probably really boring.
Okay,
it's probably
then my
this guy libs of TikTok. Hold on. So it's probably libs of TikTok retweeted and pointed out the specific name of a trans doctor, and therefore, despite not calling for violence, is engaging in stochastic terrorism. Do not amplify.
I don't think
that's
that Twitter
probably a
internal
file.
uses the term stochastic terrorism. Okay.
Oh, you got me.
My guess is going to be that a lot of the people with the do not amplify those things. I bet a lot of them are probably involved in January 6th related shit. In which case, Twitter probably has a legitimate internal reason for wanting to limit the visibility of some of those accounts. Because I believe that's ultimately what Trump got banned for, wasn't it? It was January 6th related shit. So. Anyway, regardless of all of this, listen, okay? You can blow me the out from every single thing I just said because we just got, according to some people like Counterpoints on Twitter, a historic leak, a historic trove of Twitter documents showing unprecedented.
Directly, you fucking asshole.
Sure.
Like if you're gonna sign me perspectives, why don't you find my And by the way, what fucking dick for brains fucking DM'd you and was like, oh, Connor's being a real retard on Twitter. Why don't you fucking take him on? Like what dick for brains was
all
that?
These conservatives saying shit. I think there was a post my subreddit where you guys like, oh my god, this is like such a historic leak of shit. What did you actually say? What were your actual tweets about it?
I'd have to find them, but I shitpost 50 goddamn times a day, so it's hard to find.
It was not a shitpost. It was a real.
Okay, so let's find it. Let's find it.
Okay,
dude, I'll find it. Dude, literally half of this shit is me fucking yelling at you while mindlessly scrolling Twitter because I could be reading this shit, but I can't read and yell at the same time. I don't have ADHD like you fucking cunts.
Base.
All right, so scrolling past my Iron Man Warhammer 40,000 art. You can only say the N-word if you fight an entire staff of Popeye's kitchen staff. That's a banger tweet.
Yo, Striderade, how you doing?
Oh, here's me making fun of conservatives because they're saying that they're going to criminally charge people at Twitter, and I think that's uber fucking cringe. Okay, you weren't shadow banned. You were algorithmically suppressed while being told you weren't. Do you have a problem with that tweet?
No, I have to find my. I can't scroll through your whole Twitter to find it. Hold on.
Okay.
That's what he has 10,000 people in BGG.
Okay, this is
because I'm pretty sure that's from your fucking. That's from your shit.
Good. This was your thing. Progressives acting like this is a nothing burger are delusional. Conservatives are making legal speech, and we're told for years they weren't being shadow banned. They were just unpopular. This is now a provable lie, and the shoe is on the other foot. What is the provable lie?
The provable lie is that these people are being fucking algorithmically suppressed, which Supreme already brought fucking for goddamn evidence.
No,
he. No, he didn't. Do not amplify.
Stop. Here, listen. Allow me to help you make this argument. I wouldn't say.
No, because he keeps assigning to me. Hold on.
Okay, you're doing great on your own then.
No. You can give your shit, but he keeps assigning to me the fact that I think it's just because they're conservative. Excuse me. Haven't we been in enough debates that you know I'm not actually physically retarded? So how about you deal with what I am saying instead of what you keep saying I'm saying? Sorry, Supreme. Please go ahead.
I'm making the argument I think you should be making because it's more sound and that you actually have.
Wow, very condescending, like a normal fucking libcuck.
It's okay. Supreme's like fucking 40 or something, and he's got a beautiful beard and long hair. It's fine.
Listen, so if the claim is that conservatives, that there exist conservatives that have been behind the scenes, that their reach has been limited internally and, what's the term? Like deliberately, then I think we have some evidence that that's happening. I wouldn't say it's proof, but not all evidence is proof. If you've got Dan Bongino, whose primary product is being a conservative commentator, and you've got like a label on his account that says blacklist search, you couldn't find him if you wanted to search for him. I would say that that's evidence that a conservative, that their reach is being limited.
Wait, were you in the combo or were you talking about listening to it? Wait, so what did somebody link me here? I'm in my nihilist era. I'm getting back into sex work. AIDS. God damn it, man. Just pick a lane. Just Just pick what you want to do. Is it harmful? Is it not harmful? Is it... Yeah, when rent is due, I saw that from Mindwaves, yeah. Me when rent is due. That isn't it. I don't know what's happening, man. That's insane to me. That is absolutely insane. B Franco inside of Twitch offline chat coming through heavy with that tweet. Thank you.
By Twitter internal staff, while simultaneously being told that that is not happening to conservatives.
But was your
issue with my use of the word proof because proof is better than evidence?
Wicked Supreme. The claim has never been, has any conservative been shadow banned? The claim has been conservatives were shadow banned for being conservative.
Well, no, actually, I think there was a claim that Twitter said that it doesn't shadow ban people based on political leanings or something like that. And I understand that that's how you're interpreting that. But conservatives are considering, wait a minute, some of these topics that people are getting shadow bans for, we might consider cornerstones of our like ideology or our political affiliation or something.
Okay, when Twitter says they don't shadow ban, okay, every fucking social media company says this, but they have autistic ways of defining what they consider a shadow ban. But they have released statements. I think Jack himself said this to Congress, and then I've got like a Twitter blog in front of me where they do talk about how they rank different content based on like other stuff that's going on, right? Now they'll always use, or they'll avoid using the term shadow ban, but it's effectively the same thing as, are you familiar with like throttling?
So did she even make it, Sherry says, did you even make it 6 months out of capital X sex work? I don't know. All I know is like, bruh. I can't, bro. Wait, hold on. Does this have food in it? No! I fucked up! No! God damn it. Fuck me, man. I just know that, I don't know, man. Well, that was one of my biggest concerns with Lav, was that she was constantly saying that sex work as a thing negatively affected women. And my primary issue was she does sex work. So what the fuck? You're saying it like holds women back, it harms women, but you do it. Why? Because for like somebody that needs money, that makes sense, right? You might do something that might negatively impact the image of women or might put women back systemically a little bit, but you need money, you gotta eat, you gotta make bread. It is what it is. She doesn't need to make money or make bread. She makes more than enough. Her husband, absolutely. Well, so what are we doing? And then she's like, yeah, I'm gonna just go back to sex work. I don't know what to say. I don't think God could reason with this woman. It's Femoid now, not Lavaloon. Don't detonate. Oh, yeah. My bad. I can't. I gotta follow the rules. My bad. You're right. I should be canceled for that one. I expect to be on LiveStreamfails within the hour. Jesus Christ. You aren't a hypocrite. You just can't understand. It's just I don't understand it, man. I just like I understand if you want to say any and all sex work puts women behind because it makes them be viewed as a sexual object. If you want to take that position, it is what it is. I see where you're at. I see your headspace. But then you can't be like, I'm gonna do it unless you have to do it, right? It just doesn't make sense. It don't sit right with me. Like if I said that like if I started doing some shit that made black people look bad on stream, and I said, and I recognize that it made black people look bad, some people like, what the fuck, why are you doing it? And I'm like, oh no, I'm doing it because I gotta eat. I ain't got money, whatever shit, you know, and you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. I'd be like, yeah, man, I would hope that you could do fucking anything else, but if this is what you got to do to eat, then, you know, we could start talking. But one, that's not the reality in her situation, and two, it's just generally speaking not the reality in most situations. How the fuck do I select this stockpile? There we go. Boom. Easy. That's so much easier than it was in the other one.
On a cell phone?
Sure.
Are you familiar with the fact that every single major carrier says they don't throttle?
Oh no, that now the Patreon isn't going to get the educational sex vids? I don't know. To be honest, man, I didn't think that shit was gonna last either way. Well, she made $500K a year in LA, is just middle class. She's just making ends meet. True.
Yeah, but they do, because after 20 gigabytes, they fucking slow down your speeds.
Yes, so they don't, but they don't throttle. What they say they do is they deprioritize your cell phone connection on a tower when you've hit a certain data limit. That's what they say. And technically, they're not throttling you, even though really that's kind of what they do, right? Like Twitter has released blogs and Jack made statements to Congress that says like, oh yeah, we might deprioritize people's blah, 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 but they don't call that shadow banning. But they say here, in their definition of shadow banning is when you deliberately make someone's content undiscoverable to everyone except the person who posted it, unbeknownst to the original poster. That's Twitter's definition of a shadow ban. But if you scroll down, they talk about how they rank search results and how they might deprioritize people based on like fucking shit they've said or whatever. So it's not like this is a new thing that we never heard about or have ever, had any inkling of before. And everybody knows that like the algorithm can be tweaked and manipulated and depending on which blah, blah, blah. So that's why going back to the original thing I said, not a single new piece of information has been made available here that we didn't already know. Nothing new has been
Except for the fact that basically everything that conservatives have been saying for the past half decade to decade was true. But yeah, sure.
No, because conservatives have said that people are being shadow banned just for being conservative.
Oh, I'm happy that they weren't being shadow banned according to that autistic definition I learned 48 hours ago based off of the fucking website. Yeah, sure. What do you think the fuck they meant for the past fucking half decade to decade?
What they meant, I will tell you what they and you meant. I don't know why you're lying about this now, but what people like you and you included me, yes, what you meant before, and what you probably meant at the beginning of this convo was there are people that have specifically tweaked the algorithm so that if you're
you people, Destiny, I want to hear you people
identified as conservative, even if you talk about okay topics, you're going to get deprioritized. You're going to get less views. You're going to get shadow banned.
Do you think rappers do that? Oh yeah, there's certain rappers that absolutely think the shit they rap about is bad and that they regret doing it and that a label made them do it. I think rappers have talked about that. Yeah. Do I think that's a significant thing? Not really, but I think rappers have talked about that. Yeah. I can't wait for Ahrelevant GG chat. Well, I mean, I already got the fucking domain and everything. Basically, the difference between a socialist surviving under capitalism and thriving under capitalism. Yeah. If you're getting banned for misgendering, you're practically being banned for being conservative. No. I don't think that's true. I understand where your headspace is, but I don't think that's true. I do. If you are banned for, I don't even think that's true. I'm not sure I agree with that. No.
That's what people like you have meant.
You don't think I don't want the Overton window to be wider than it currently is?
I don't know how that.
I don't want to talk about more. Oh, well, it's completely relevant because basically conservatism is now in a nice, neat little delectable box that suits progressives and techno dickheads in San Francisco. So pretending that this isn't a big deal, where the public marketplace has been shifted so far left that conservatives can't talk about what they want to talk about. They just have to talk about what they can talk about because of the arbitrary decisions of a bunch of fucking dickheads in cities that they abhor. Acting like that's not a big deal is part of the reason why you're missing the point of this tweet. You're saying that it's nothing. It's a nothing burger. It's a nothing burger to you because you're in the middle of the goddamn algorithmic wake. You're in the middle of the Overton window. You have the most acceptable political opinion that will be acceptable 100 years from now, whereas me, I'm a little bit less acceptable, but probably still acceptable. And there's a whole bunch of people who I like who are outside of the Overton window. So you don't care because it doesn't affect you.
None of that had literally anything to do with what I said, and I'm the worst person to use an example because I'm literally banned from Twitter. But also, none of that had anything to do with what I said.
Were you banned because of your hot
more social media than you are, okay? Yeah.
Were you banned because of your hot political opinions, or were you banned for being a dick?
I don't know. Is there a difference?
Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut up. All right, no, so, hold on. Now my fucking keyboard's running away from me. No, so basically, do you want to find that, like, that hot tweet where I fucking said, this is a historic moment for the conservatives?
What does it even mean to be banned for being conservative? You must express conservatism somehow for that. Yeah, so the distinction you're trying to draw is what's the difference between being banned for opinions that are overwhelmingly conservative versus being banned for being conservative. And I think there is significant overlap in that. Krabs, Go Pinch, thank you for becoming a member. I would say that the distinction from me personally is that if you are a conservative, meaning that if you hold X, Y, and Z position, that you in your entire content gets flagged. Like, for instance, if Matt Walsh wiped his content and then started posting gameplay footage, right? Or if he just had a second channel. Let's put it, this is a better example. If Matt Walsh had a second channel that was all gameplay footage and it was getting rocked because of his involvement with the political shit, his political points, then that would be an example of you getting suppressed because you're a conservative versus the actual points. It's like you as a person cannot make content on this platform because we don't trust you to make content, even if it's completely benign. That would probably be the difference somebody would do. All topics Connor mentions are technically nonpartisan: race, realism, anti-vaxxer, convos, the JQ, especially the JQ, as we've known a little bit more recently, huh? But that shit will always disproportionately impact conservatives because they talk about it more, of course. You're not going to be banned because you hate social programs, hate abortions, and fuck guns. Yeah, true. President Sunday tried to mount the offensive and start claiming liberals are not on the left at all on Twitter and YouTube. It's the lefty whatever shit. Let them go through it. They're gonna go through it. Tier 3! Marcus, Tier 3, thank you for the Tier 3 membership. It actually kind of looks weird seeing the 3 eyes and then the exclamation point. Thank you for the Tier 3 membership. First Tier 3 member. I'm going to have to throw up like a Tier 3 member emote just for you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for that support. And if you want to support me and you don't have money, or if you do, you know, donations and memberships always help. Memberships, you can get some emotes. Put a like on the stream, man. I started streaming on YouTube, and I really am enjoying streaming on YouTube. I think it's a lot of fun. I like YouTube's environment, the community. I think they've been giving me a lot of support. A lot of people inside the chat giving me support. When I make calls for people to like or comment or subscribe, I get people that do that to help boost the algorithm and get more people into the stream natively. It helps a lot. Like I said, the background or the back-end analytics show me how much it helps to have people engage with the content and how much it's pushing it to other people's recommended pages. And it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit. It's like how, I remember one time I was scrolling down YouTube. I like watch ASMR videos and stuff and whatever shit on YouTube. Primarily that, like music and sometimes like some video game trailers. And I remember I was just scrolling down and my recommended looked pretty normal, a mix of those things. And then I randomly got some dude streaming Mortal Kombat. I was like, why the fuck did I get this guy streaming Mortal Kombat? And the reason why was because he was juicing the algorithm with his chat, fucking getting everyone to engage, fast moving chat and everything. And it was blasting it. I never watched Mortal Kombat. I never watched fighting games or anything, but it juiced the stream to me, right? YouTube is trying to push their live streaming so hard to be competitive with Twitch, and by doing so, it makes it so that way whenever a chatter engages with the stream, it turbocharges it. That's their method. I like the method. Hey, Pelican, thank you for subbing in Twitch offline chat. Primer, first time sub, and your one and only primer as well. Thank you. That's the way they do it. I like YouTube more because it makes me feel like I got a fair shot. All I have to do is make content that people want to engage with, and then the algorithm will respond to me in kind. I like that. I like that system in comparison to Twitch, where I can make a phenomenal stream, and I'm really just hoping that people scroll all the way the fuck down on just chatting and they find my shit. It doesn't make any sense to me. You know, I like it. Enjoy the Prime sub. Can't stay on this site anymore. Stick with YouTube. Hey, listen. I appreciate it. I bet all the conservatives complaining about misinformation warnings would be perfectly happy if Twitter started putting warnings about drag shows being inappropriate or against bathtub HRT rules for me, not for thee. I think that's kind of how people are, though. You know, Tier 4 from Cypher. I literally didn't. How many tiers are there? Is there a Tier 5? How many tiers are there? Tier 4 from Cypher. Thank you for upgrading. You joined the member. You became a member today, and then you upgraded it to Tier 4. Thank you, Cypher. And gifting subs, or I guess memberships, earlier today. 5 fast ones. Thank you for that, Cypher. Hey, dude, glad to see you're getting better. Godspeed, friend. Thank you. If they make a 5, I'll do it. I appreciate it, Cypher. Thank you. But yeah, I like YouTube. I think it's a better platform. And so, yeah, if you want to see me continuously stream on YouTube, put a like on the stream. Thank you to the, I believe, 43 of you who liked the stream after that shout out. 43 of you. Thanks for looking out. I appreciate it.
We've won the Twitter wars.
I just want to see.
We need to get down on our knees and blow Elon Musk for saving us from these progressive cucks.
I just want to see any evidence whatsoever that there was something that was cool leaked in the Twitter leaks. That's what I was saying. Just a single thing.
Cool to you.
No, anything new that we didn't know before. Something maybe that Twitter lied about. That would be interesting.
Wait, was my game playing the entire time I was doing that? God damn it, I think it was. Fuck, I just missed like 3 weeks of in-game time or something, dude. What the fuck? God damn, bruh. Fuck me.
Okay, so just to reiterate your fucking perspective right back to you. Your perspective is that they put it in the TOS. Conservatives were complaining about algorithmic suppression, but they kept using the word shadow ban, so they're fucking dumb for not reading the TOS. And basically, if you touch a radioactive topic and then you get deprioritized algorithmically, that's your fault, and you just need to get good because you're a fucking dork. And also, this has been going on forever. It's not interesting to anybody, and anybody who finds it interesting or culturally significant is a fucking retard.
I'll just read. I don't know what all that was. I'll just read what I said again.
That was me restating your perspective as far as I can understand it.
What was one new piece of information that the Twitter files either leaked or confirmed that we didn't know before? That's all I want.
Why is that your bar for giving a shit about something culturally significant?
Because everybody said these were historic leaks, that we were getting new information.
Retard said that. Nobody in this fucking room said that.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess then we agree then. At least there's nothing like new or historic or crazy that was, I guess, leaked about the Twitter files. Then I guess.
No, we don't agree on that. I think it's culturally significant. And on top of that, here's something that you are gonna have to deal with. Not you specifically, but progressives and liberals. Fucking Elon Musk is playing fucking twinkle toes with the right wing right now. And on top of that, he's already been taking out left wing accounts, left, right, and center, basically for just talking shit about him. So right now, you have like a libertarian right wing wants to go to Mars and fucking make human meat dickhead who is now in charge of Twitter, and he's gonna be arbitrarily banning leftists. So when you start feeling that Overton window closing in on you a little bit, maybe you'll have a different opinion.
Bro, why do you keep saying this to me when I'm banned from Twitter?
Why? Because you were banned from Twitter for talking shit, fucking race realists, not because you.
Okay, I know, but you keep like high roading me when one of us here is on Twitter and it's not me. It's just funny. You're like, you're gonna care when it hits you. And it's like, bro, I'm banned from Twitter. I don't know why you keep saying that to me.
I'm talking to the progressives in your audience, not you specifically.
Okay, my bad.
This is the disagreement, though, Connor. You're saying when this happens to you, you're gonna be sorry. And Destiny is simply saying, show me an example of this happening to conservatives, somebody being banned or being throttled simply on the virtue of being conservative and not on the merit of like
which is an argumentative frame that I never agreed to. I never.
Well, how do you feel about that? You know that that's disagreement.
No. I want to point this out. Hold on, Sherry, 1 second.
Okay.
One at a time. So basically, that was a frame that he came up with in the beginning of the conversation. He's like, hey, hold this grenade, see if it explodes in your face. I reject that fucking grenade, okay? I never called it historic. I never called it once in a lifetime. I never called it in whatever the he needs new. These are all variables that he's picking for the argument and expecting me to defend them. If it's not my position, I'm not going to take a position I don't hold.
Okay, so you think that these leaks, there's something that is worth noting, right?
Yes.
You think that this is going to be a moment that people will remember?
I think it is a sign of the Overton window shifting right. Yes.
And you also agree with Stephen that no new information has been revealed.
I would say that conservatives were basically calling this shit out for a half decade. They were told that they were.
Please. New information revealed in this leak or not?
Or nah.
Yes, but only because it proved the point that people already knew.
No, that's not a fucking answer. Do you know how to answer something straight?
Ooh. Yes, I do.
I got you. I'm sorry.
No, it's just weird when people like assign you like answer the question the way that I want you to answer.
Well, no, because she's asking.
It's weird when you have to answer the fucking question. Is there something?
With 8 words instead of 1?
No, it's actually just one. Just yes or no. This is a leak. Is there new information or is there not?
Okay, my answer is yes.
You already agreed with Stephen that there's no new
asterisk.
information. If you say there's new information, what the fuck is it?
Okay, the new information that fucking Supreme showed was that these people were being algorithmically suppressed in that they were fucking known on a first name basis by Twitter moderators.
Freakazoid, thank you for becoming a member, getting those tasty emotes. Thank you. Thank you for the support, man.
Well, we all knew it.
Wait. So I'm curious. I'm curious. I really want to hear this. If somebody would have said before the Twitter leaks, if somebody would have made the statement publicly, is it possible that Twitter has flagged certain accounts and like deprioritized like certain accounts?
Sure.
Do you think most people would have said, no way, Twitter would never do that?
Not reasonable people, but there was plenty of progressives who were like, yeah, good.
Good? So then they acknowledge it happened?
No, okay, can I just run through a scenario without you being incredulous for like 5 seconds?
I don't know. I'm sorry, go ahead, yeah.
I don't know. Shut the fuck up. So, all right. So if Libs of TikTok made a tweet fucking like 2 months ago or whatever, which they might be a bad example because they're wildly popular in spite of their infamy. If they made a tweet
in spite of their algorithmic poison, that's what you wanted to say, but go ahead.
Okay. So if they came out and they said, hey, I think that Twitter is fucking with my algorithmic reach. I've now noticed that I've lost 10,000 followers, and on top of that, a tweet that I did reached 50,000, whereas my normal shit reaches 150,000.
Yeah.
What do you think would have been the response from people who hate Libs of TikTok?
From people that hate them, they'd probably say, good, yeah, they probably suppress it because you guys are evil and you cause harm to trans people.
Do you think they would even admit that there was suppression in the first place?
Yes.
Well, you're being way more fucking charitable than I am.
Okay. Do you remember when Keffels tweeted that she believed that her content on Twitter was being suppressed by the algorithm?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you know who Brianna Joygray is?
Oh, no,
Okay. Here's
not
her
that
complaining about her
person.
shit being are being suppressed by the Twitter algorithm, right? Everybody has complained about this. It's not new, and it's not just conservatives. I can probably find more people on the left that have also complained. So yes, it seems like every single person seems to think this is a possibility.
Okay, do you think that Twitter and Twitch CEOs are hardcore leftists, or do you think they're progressives?
Hardcore leftists or progressive? They probably have a pretty big progressive bend. That'd be my guess.
Okay, do you think they're hardcore fucking kill your landlord, beat him with a fucking bike lock leftists?
Probably not.
So do you think that some leftists are outside of the Overton window and might face some level of algorithmic suppression based off of their political views?
If they did, that would be a tremendous story.
Just say yes. Can't you answer a question in more than 8 words? No. Why can't you just answer a question?
I said it, now he doesn't like the answer because I gave him an honest answer. True. Yeah. I said no. The answer is no. I don't think they got suppressed just because of their political leanings. That's your claim, and it would be a phenomenal claim if you had any evidence at all.
That's the claim that you've assigned me half a dozen times, despite me telling you to take that claim and stick it right up your fucking ass.
Dude, you guys are phenomenal. You're like impenetrable.
Shit!
Like conservatives. You guys. You live
Theirs would get reported more often than nobody's.
Who is guys? What have I said that supports that?
You're saying that there's like some new information, that these are historic leaks, blah, 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 but it's nothing. It's all the same shit we already knew Twitter did, but people are acting like it's some huge fucking story, and it's not. It's nothing.
Okay, I'm going to call out your fucking editor right now. So, what is it, August? Yep. August. Run through this entire fucking video and see if I ever use the word historic, except for in the context where I'm telling Destiny to take that term and stick it right up his fucking ass, because I've never said it in a context where I'm making a positive argument. So, yeah, go ahead and run that back for me, bud.
Okay. When I say historic, I'm sorry. That's me being hyperbolic. What I'm saying is that you're saying something new was released that we did not know before.
Okay, I'm going on the offensive. You pussies are making it sound like a libertarian or a conservative buying the largest social media website on the fucking planet, revealing that a certain political faction has...
You just said revealing, right?
Finish, go.
Yeah. So basically, that this person buying this platform, then revealing that people were being algorithmically suppressed, and he now has the power to do it to people he doesn't like, because that's the precedent that's been set. That's not an interesting social phenomena to you?
No, because it hasn't been shown that any of what you said happened.
Shut the fuck up. You don't find that interesting? Hold on. Ignore whether or not conservatives have been suppressed. Tell me that it's not interesting that fucking Elon Musk now has his finger on the button and he can butt fuck anybody algorithmically that he feels like it. That's not an important social development?
I haven't seen any evidence that people are being targeted algorithmically.
That wasn't my question. That was my question or my statement.
No, none of this is interesting to me.
Okay, not interesting to you. Hundreds of thousands or millions of people are interested in exactly what the fuck I just said.
Okay.
Okay, the problem is that you just said he revealed things, and Destiny's saying that nothing was revealed. This has been known for years.
Don't care.
Oh, well, then that's what your disagreement is.
This is fucking weaponized autism. That's what this is.
No, you were just like looking for fucking conspiracy, okay? We understand that people who like are very popular, very famous, very in people's like eyes, right? Whatever. Twitter, you've got popularity. You say things that are TOS. You've got people who want to fucking target you and to report you and get you banned. The fact that you're just like pointing out some really popular conservative figures doesn't like mean that Twitter's after them. It could mean that like users and stuff like that, like these lefty communities or something, are after them.
Okay, do you have anything to say in reference to my like sub-variable argument from earlier, where I basically said
anything about the sub-variables?
The mono variable is that they're conservative, but the sub-variables are they want to have conversations that aren't accepted by current TOS?
Nobody's having conversations on Twitter. What are you talking about?
Sidestep.
Nobody's having long, in-depth conversations on Twitter. You shitpost, you say something hateful, you provoke interaction, shit like that. What conversations do you think are happening in depth?
No, I'll accept your amended statement that it's a bad platform for having long-form conversations. I'll accept that statement.
Okay, well, listen. All I want to see is at some point. I know you said you're researching back.
Gotta make the workshop, boys.
That's what I'm hyped for.
I'm saying, okay, what I'm saying is you assigning new to cultural relevance is the weirdest fucking goalpost shift and variable to be looking for, considering that like millions of people are interested in this. So way to set a weird and arbitrary bar for whether or not something is interesting is new. If I bring up dinosaurs, are dinosaurs not interesting?
I like dinos.
I don't know what.
Trains. Factorio
Trains.
Mod 1. Is there
He's
something
saying it's
that
not
you're
interesting because it was already known.
Yeah.
Already know with evidence. Okay, anyways. There's a difference between already knowing something and having evidence to support your worldview.
I'm using like know like in the sense of like actually knowing stuff, not like crazy conspiracy conservative shit. I don't know how else to use that word, sorry. Like when I say no, I mean like have evidence for or proof of. Not like, I always knew that fucking George Bush did 9/11, right? There'd be difference if like actual proof of that was released. That wouldn't mean like, oh, we already knew that. No, we didn't know that. Some people might have thought it, we didn't know it. But I don't think there was any new information.
So hold on, I'm not gonna let this go, but I'll let it go in a second. Okay. So basically, if there was some random crazy asshole on YouTube who was spouting off fucking nonsense, and he said the FBI and the CIA knew 9/11 was going to happen, and on top of that, they evacuated the Bin Laden family immediately after the attack. Okay, let's say that is like just in the cultural zeitgeist. Yeah. But then what ends up happening, because this is actually what did happen, is we find out later that the CIA did know that terrorists were coming into the country, but because of bureaucratic fucking stupidity, they actually did not notify the FBI, and as a result, the 9/11 hijackers were able to do what they wanted to do. And then on top of that, because the Bin Laden family is one of the richest families, who Osama Bin Laden literally has 53 cousins, the FBI and the security establishment did evacuate the Bin Ladens afterwards. Even though you already knew that information, because there's now information that colors that understanding of the world, is that not interesting despite not being new?
I'm not. Well, the question was never, is anything interesting? The question has been whether or not there's been some new piece of leaked information.
Okay, your word "new" is very arbitrary for this conversation, but it's okay. I love you anyways, and honestly, I love yelling at you, so this is pretty good for me.
Well, wait, before you go, why are any of these companies required for compelled speech? Or required to have compelled speech? You're saying that they're being suppressed, but isn't that just them exercising their own free speech? Why are they required to disseminate to everybody?
They're not. There's a difference between moral and legal. I'm making moral arguments, not legal ones.
Yeah, conservatives are still, within the rights to complain about it, even if it's an open secret or completely openly announced that this is what's happening.
Not just that, but also from a liberal framework, isn't the way that we fucking deal with like American problems is to hash all our shit out in the public eye and fight about it viscerally?
But it's not
how we're supposed to handle shit.
It's private companies. It's private companies.
Okay, well, your private company just got bought out by a fucking right-winger, and he's going to start suppressing left-wingers. I hope you dickheads have fun with that.
Okay, great, based.
Later on, that reveal all that crazy news.
Good! Get rid of Twitter anyway. This shit's ass.
I really want to see it, okay?
Stop using new, you but I love you.
I love you too. Be careful, babe.
Bye.
I kind of wanted him to stick around a little more because I wanted, I feel like he's got an argument.
No, he doesn't. No, there is no argument. There was no new information released. Nothing new was revealed that we didn't know before.
Listen, I agree. I agree that the Twitter files was a dud. That we didn't get anything new, or there was like.
Well, that's good. That's not what conservatives are acting. They're acting like fucking like the resurrection of Jesus was just fucking proved. So.
Well, how do you? Okay, I guess I'm curious how you feel about like the overall complaint that they feel like. Listen, whether or not this is happening because simply we identify as conservatives, a lot of the topics that we find like really important and the cornerstone of our ideology are being suppressed. Like it sounds like you don't disagree with that.
No, I think that's a reasonable conversation topic to have. I don't know if those should be suppressed. But that's not what they're saying. They're on some massive, insanely conspiratorial bullshit. But that conversation is a good conversation. It's like a whole other reason of why I get so irritated that all of the public discourse gets so fucking poisoned is because people are incapable of focusing on what the good and interesting conversation is. They want to focus on the conspiracy nonsense.
Damn, I wish you guys could have had that conversation. That sounds like something you...
No, because it sounds like something we'd probably agree on, and there'd be no conversation there. But that's not my issue. My issue is the conspiracy bullshit that is not true, that everybody's saying is happening.
Before going into the second combo, what's your opinion on Connor's stance? It's kind of weird. I don't really understand it. So he's trying to say that it's... I don't really understand it, to be perfectly frank. Is he trying to say, like what the chatter was saying to me earlier, that suppression of opinions that have significant overlap with being conservative is effectively like suppressing a person for being conservative? Because I feel like, again, this conversation should take 10 minutes. Really. I feel like this conversation should be a 10-minute conversation max. Building, hold on. Building, move the... Move, boom. Okay, and then we're gonna replace him down here. So we'll take a look, I guess.
There was no government request to censor the Hunter Biden original story. There were a few requests that were put in to delete specific tweets, not about the Hunter Biden story. It was just pictures of Hunter Biden's...
I feel like you should concede on having been an investigator.
Cherry, I've had people murdered in my arms, you bum. Shut your mouth.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ.
My dad died.
Wait, whoa! Whoa, what the fuck is that from? Yo! What the hell? Thank you, Nero, for the 4 months in your primer. I don't even... yo, this shit is popping off, man!
I'm sorry, it's getting late. I want to fight.
Causing chaos.
Well, winning for this.
Oh, did you bring a tweet finally that vindicated your perspective yesterday?
Oh, does it have to be new, you Cole?
Yeah, that's a new piece of information because I thought the Twitter
I came here to wish you a happy birthday so I could get my right in, but apparently we're not allowed to. So.
Well, I'm glad. For my birthday present, I wanted to see one new tweet.
Wait, it was Steven's birthday recently? Why didn't anybody tell me? How old is the boy? 33? 32? I think he's like 33, ain't he?
Something we didn't know before already about Twitter.
Well, okay. Well, then I guess did you already know that we're gonna play this game? I guess that fucking DHS and FBI were DHS and FBI were having weekly meetings.
34
with the Twitter head honchos.
We didn't know that explicitly, but yeah, that's almost obvious.
Then it's new, bitch. Just because it's not interesting doesn't mean it's not new. So suck it. I wouldn't.
Do you think they were acting? Do you think they were acting in a way that was improper?
I don't know. I wasn't.
Okay. Well, I rest my case.
This guy.
All right. Well, I rest my case.
Well. Rest these nuts. No, I mean, dude, so actually, I did have a kind of post and after. If you wanted to get into it, I didn't want to distract fully for the conversation. By the way, Warhammer 40k makes both these pussy-ass fucking nerd universes look like shit.
But
here's about Space Orcs, dude. Lots of people care about Space Orcs.
The Empire would curb stomp the Imperium.
People that sit in their house and paint minis for 8 hours. Yeah,
that's just demonstrably false. But yeah, if we actually wanted to do the after-action report. So the after-action report that I had, my editor's a pretty big tech guy. He at least swears by the information that he gave me, which is the fact that the algorithm isn't intelligent enough in order to disassociate between like conservative content and progressive content. So that would mean that any of the bans or throttling or whatever would have to be manual. I do think that we
I'm
did.
sorry, just as a real quick
I think it would be, right? I'm pretty sure it would be sophisticated enough. I don't feel like that's very difficult.
About anything. The depths of stupidity. You can drag him on right now if you want. I would bet my entire life. I bet that I could learn fucking Python and write an algorithm to differentiate between conservative and progressive content in like 2 weeks.
No,
he definitely can't, but I know what he means.
What?
It's not that complicated. I don't think it is.
No.
Bring him on. We need the content.
Come on in.
I'm 1,000,000% confident in that statement. What a stupid fucking statement to make.
Oh, no. He wants to come on.
Sure, drag him on.
All right.
What's his name? Tell him to join. Tell him to join. What do we got? General Lobby 2, and I'll drag him in.
Oh no!
The algorithm isn't intelligent.
He thinks that you couldn't write an algorithm to differentiate between conservative and progressive content. Like that.
When it comes to hold on. Let me specify, because he'll probably defend himself a little bit more specifically than that. When it came to a certain topic, so for instance, if you had like race realism, and then there was a
there's no way you couldn't differentiate about like abortion. Pretty much, if you just like on abortion, if you just straight up say pro-life, pro-choice, you have like a 99% hit rate for conservative or not. His own editor didn't even agree with him? Oh, okay, so never mind. I guess he just didn't.
If he was talking about race realism, or there was a conservative talking about race realism, the YouTube algorithm wouldn't be independently functional enough to differentiate whether or not it was a conservative talking about the topic or whether or not it was a progressive talking about the topic. Do you have contention with that perspective?
Yeah, you could do it. I'm pretty confident you could do it.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
right,
he's talking about this. He's referring to a particular tweet. Okay, let's see what the actual tweet is that's being referred to.
All right, hold on. Where is he?
Oh, God, what is
Destiny's Room, T4, T3, T2, T1.
Trump and objects to censorship.
I'm in general lobby 2. I don't think I have perms to drag him in, right? His name's
I fucked this up so bad. I fucked it up so bad.
Taze Grove.
General lobby 2.
Yep, I see it.
There we go. All right, Taze, you fight.
Hey, how's it going? Okay, I'm already gonna defend myself from the way that you're describing this.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Backstab me. Great.
No,
Sweet,
because
thanks.
I tried to explain this and I told you that I could have gone further in depth into specific parts of it. I'm not necessarily like some poli-sci genius who can explain like the in-depth algorithms, but if we're going to talk about like how these algorithms are designed, they're not developed in order to be able to differentiate between a lot of these contents. They're mainly going to have a specific algorithm driven for retention and click.
That's true. That's a true statement to my knowledge.
Through and viewership. So
the point of the algorithm isn't going to be like what is conservative content, what isn't conservative content. It's strictly just going to be what content gets more clicks, keeps people on our website longer. That's it. They're not. What the fuck happened? 8 people just showed up? What the hell? I got 8 new people in my fucking fortress, man. What the fuck just happened? And like half of them are kids. What the fuck? I can't put these people to work. I got a bunch of gem cutters and shit. What the fuck am I gonna do with a gem cutter?
they're not going to necessarily build that algorithm to like restrict certain very specific topics based on very specific keywords, especially when we're talking about like certain different platforms, all those sorts of things. Like it's just not how they're done. So like the idea that they're just like tamping down on conservative content across the board, like it's not happening.
Ooh.
This isn't my debate.
Well, isn't this completely
Wait,
everything you were saying?
yeah, I was gonna say what?
Yeah, I can't. This is what happened yesterday,
yeah.
by the way. I start forwarding like a micro point, and you're like, ugh, I won, and it's like, no, motherfucker, like we got 1 point in.
Well, no, hold on. To be clear, yesterday, all I wanted was some tweet that showed some novel type of like coordination with the government to suppress conservatives. That's what I was curious about, and because that's
That
what
feels
Musk
like a goal. That feels like a goalpost shift right there.
Okay, if you want, I very clearly at the very beginning of our conversation laid out very precisely exactly what I was looking for. I'll say it again for the 7th time. The claim has always been that conservatives are being censored because they're conservatives. And was there any evidence of that? The answer was no.
Okay, and I brought up the fact, to repeat myself for the 50th time, that basically there are subcategories of discussion that conservatives engage in that progressives do not, that leads to them getting by the TOS.
Yeah, but nobody is denying that that's ever been happening. Like if you go online,
so do you want to take it to the more interesting conversation then? Because we could like circle jerk each other like we did yesterday. Or what we could do is move to the broader conversation of what do you think would actually be like the more positive way to engage with contentious topics in the public forum? Like should these things be not moderated and then they should just be demonetized? Should they, you know, like how do we have these difficult conversations that basically conservatives feel like are being suppressed?
yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, and then this is where the things where I hope fucking DGG didn't jerk themselves off too fucking raw. But apparently after I left, the conversation was like, Connor thinks that conservatives are being suppressed. What a fucking retard. But then if we talk about how to deal with contentious issues, you and I are in lockstep. So is that?
But that's not the
relatively
issue.
True?
The issue has been conservatives jerking themselves off that like Elon's leaks revealed some huge new thing, but they didn't. Nothing huge or new was revealed.
If I can like
Yeah, go ahead.
So one of the biggest things that was like frustrating for me watching externally as well was that I know, like, speaking to Connor, he isn't necessarily defending that take. In fact, he's been going after people on Twitter, especially when right-wingers are saying like, oh, we gotta lock him up, prosecute him, and he's just saying like, what's the fucking charge? Like, what are you talking about? There's nothing to charge. Like, the problem is that Connor isn't defending those things. He wants to have the other esoteric conversation, and that's where it was like, shit. Like, there's things that we would like to talk about surrounding it, but like, we're not defending the idea that like there is actually some massive, shadow ban.
That's
or
what Elon has been saying, and that's what conservatives are acting like. So I was just curious if any evidence of that actually came out. That's what I was curious about.
Yeah, I just don't think either of us defend that or would like forward that.
Oh,
Well, speak for yourself, because
That's
I'll
good.
get myself in trouble.
Okay, yeah, Jesus.
Okay, so
Let me-
nothing
let me-
new was
let me
nothing
swim out of my
historic or
own
important was leaked from the show. Then okay.
So what do you want to? So hold on. So let's break this down slow since we're having this conversation again. So historic. Would you say that it's historic that a conservative, in order to open up the Overton window, spent $44 billion fucking
That's
dollars?
not what this conversation is about. There's nothing to do
That's
with
the conversation I'm having because I'm a human being who's talking to you. In my opinion, matters just as much as yours, Mr. fucking millionaire dickbag. This is what I want to talk about.
What's the Overton window?
The Overton window is like what is acceptable to talk about.
Yeah, and we can't even talk about the JQ or race realism or anti-vax talking points or how gay people are groomers on Twitter without getting banned. It's like 1984.
True. Okay. So anyways.
There's Straighterade.
So the point being, well, and that actually opens up its own set of can of worms. But anyways, so the point being is that historically significant? Is that culturally important? Is this a huge moment?
I don't know. Straighterade, you see Hunter's nudes? I straight up haven't. I don't know anybody who actually has, honestly. I heard they exist. I don't give a fuck about them. The nudes, they're pretty cool.
In the fucking thing, would you say the Overton window is shifting to the right a little bit because one of the big...
with his shitpost snipe? Yeah, it happens. Bro, listen. I just still don't understand. So is Connor's position now that... Is Connor's position now that they're good on... They're cool with the idea that there's suppression of... I don't even understand. Is it that... What was the specific word they used? I don't remember what the specific word they used. Nobody cares about dick pics. You got to get those from. You can get those from any dudes. I mean, I care about. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude.
Fucking social media companies has been bought out by this guy.
Sure.
Straighterade isn't subbed. Cringe. That is kind of cringe, actually.
One of the big points of him buying it out was we were going to finally figure out where the corruption laid with the Hunter Biden and everything. And it seems like all the stuff that got released, there was no corruption. Everything functioned as it probably should have.
Okay,
major decisions.
let's get into that because maybe the Hunter Biden thing we could actually find things that we disagree with information that's publicly available.
Because you're going to say that you didn't look at it and you're not familiar with any of it, and then we're going to.
No, I'll say, no, I looked at it when it first came out.
Oh, okay.
Why would basically this story, which is of political relevance during the election cycle, be deemed misinformation or hacked materials?
Yeah, man. Maybe I really don't give a fuck about real politics and some of this shit. That's not true. I was like an inch away from going to Georgia. It's not true. I give a fuck about that shit. But I don't know, man. I don't give a fuck about Hunter Biden at all. It's just not. I just don't care. I don't know why I should care or if I should or what. But...
It was deemed hacked materials because there were pictures of Hunter Biden's cock posted.
Okay, so what's the definition? If you want to get esoteric about or fucking Raleigh definitional
materials
about
was somebody had access to a stash of pictures that were very personal that somebody didn't want published, and they published them.
Okay, and then basically, see, here's the thing. Twitter doesn't even agree with you because even in their internal definitions or internal conversations, they were talking about how they were stretching the fuck out of that policy in order to make the Hunter Biden story fit that. And not only that, they were stretching the fuck out of it at the behest of government officials. That's in.
Do you want to bet $10,000 on that claim? Because there was not a single picture for $10,000.
Do you want to bet 100 like a normal person?
$10. I'm sorry. Hold on. $10.
No, we can do 100. I'm not that poor.
There was no government request to censor the Hunter Biden original story. There were a few requests that were put in to delete specific tweets, not about the Hunter Biden story. It was just pictures of Hunter Biden's cock.
So why did they fucking slow down? Like, it was either NY Post or fucking New York Times or whoever the fuck it was who had a story, and they literally like removed it,
because
and then they put in fucking qualifiers for it, and they fucking
algorithmically
because the NY Post one that came out, there was a lot of internal contention over whether or not it counted as hacked materials. That's what the internal debate was over. They didn't know if it was authentic.
No government official had any opinion about it at all.
Can somebody link the exact tweet where is it Barry Weiss? Whoever the fuck literally says there was no evidence of government. Somebody just link me the exact tweet.
That was Matt Taibbi in the first one.
Yeah, can somebody just link me that exact tweet?
I think it was tweet number 13.
Yeah, can I just link me that
Tweet
exact
number
tweet?
13, exhibit number
somebody please just link me that exact
What
tweet.
government, while they're doing that, what government official would be advocating in 2022 to get rid of leaks about Hunter Biden?
Not get rid of, slow it down.
Okay.
I thought Twitter independently concluded that it had the markings of Russian misinformation.
Wait, maybe you can't? I don't think you can gift subs on YouTube directly to somebody. You can gift them generally. But I don't think you can gift them directly to anybody. Hunter Biden's smokes meth with his pipe out. That's pretty hot, bro. Kaka.
To apply the policy, not for sure, but that they suspected that it might.
So
be.
does that not show that it fucking like right there that there's no fucking consistency within the story about what's going on? Is that not indicative of people panicking? This feels like, honestly, I'm not. I know I'm in the fucking lion's den, but this feels like
people panicking is a wildly different claim than the government told them to censor a tweet. That's a totally different
so
claim.
are you gonna deny? Okay, so are you gonna deny this story that fucking Mark Zuckerberg basically got a month's notice before fucking Hunter Biden's story was leaked, and the FBI said, hey, some major misinformation is coming out, and you need to act accordingly, and he basically did so voluntarily, but it was the FBI who told him to do it.
So I'll just say this: whatever you're saying, you're probably making it up because everything you've said about this so far has been made up. But I'll look into that later. I haven't seen the Zuckerberg stuff.
Look into that later. Okay, why don't you look into that now? We got time.
Yeah, we can.
I'm awake. You're awake.
Sure, we'll do it right after this. Okay. So this tweet was: although several sources recalled hearing about a quote-unquote general warning from federal law enforcement that summer about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact,
Cypher, thank you for gifting another 5.
So there was no evidence.
Thank you so much for gifting another 5 subs to the stream, hitting No Neck Mongoose Newbie, Just Some Internet Chick, Ken T, and Anderson. Bad luck, Ted Straderate. Excellent dodging. Yeah, I don't know how that works. That's just unlucky. You guys should keep gifting more memberships until they get one. Yeah, you keep gifting. Freakazoid now gifting another one. Whoa. I wonder if my stream is coordinated enough to hold off and let them get... I don't even know why we're obsessed with it. But you know what you should do as well? You should like the damn video while you're at it, okay? Like the damn video. We have 188 likes on a 300 viewer stream. I have no idea why this is happening. This is absolute insanity. We should get these numbers up. They can be juiced. Come on. We can pump these numbers up. There's no reason why we're not, honestly, at like 220, 230. That's the general range I would expect y'all are capable of. 220, 230. I mean, that's easy money. Really, it is. I mean, now we're up to 205, so it is what it is, though.
Any government intrusion relating to the Hunter Biden laptop story. And this is from the guy writing the tweets about the leaks. Okay, what do you want me to read about Zuckerberg? Tell me what I need to Google. Zuckerberg.
It's exactly what Taibbi said. That there was general guidance that
17 more of you. There are 17 of you sitting there. Jesus Christ, Cypher, another. Wait, so Cypher, you did a tier 1 membership, gave away 5 gifted, upgraded to a tier 4 membership, gave away 5 gifted, and now you're giving away another 5 and Straighter Rage finally catches one. Absolutely amazing. Is like everybody a sub in my chat now? Is there one person who isn't a green name? Wait. Flickering Flutter, white name, Zach, white name, in pursuit of knowledge. I think we have enough green names in chat to have a caste system at this point of just like tiers of citizens. You know what I'm saying? I think we're at that point, you know? Fucking white names.
fucking shit was coming out that might be misinfo. And
Wow. Okay. Well, that's cringe. All right. Now that's a bit cringe that you just got around it. It's a bit cringe. Thank you for your money.
So you lied. So you did lie. So I was correct in saying that you just made some shit up. Okay,
you've known me. No. This is actually part of what's pissing me off.
Yes.
You're saying lie.
Okay. I'm sorry. You didn't lie.
I'm misrepresenting the information.
Correct.
Okay.
My bad. Okay. Not lie, but
okay.
Completely incorrect.
Do you want to use words to figure out our conversation, or do you want to be a cunt about it? Because it's actually starting to piss me off a little bit. Actually, let me nail this down real quick. At the expense of making it personal.
Nail it down.
So my reputation in this space is being good faith as a motherfucker. It's saying what I think and what I believe based off of available information. It's also not known for being a fucking retard. I'm not nuanced, bro. I'm not Lawrence Southern. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm not fucking nuanced, bro. I'm not Lawrence Southern. I'm not playing some fucking game. I'm not playing 10D fucking rhetoric or chess or fucking clout shit or whatever the fuck you're talking about. So if you want to talk to me about things that I sincerely believe and you want me to fucking extend you some level of charitability and fucking respect that I actually expect from you, then I want some of that shit from you. Don't treat me like some fucking like conservative fucking oppo 80 IQ fucking retard who doesn't know what he's saying. I know exactly what I'm saying, and I'm saying it based off of evidence that I've reviewed. So don't. As a matter of fact, if you say the word lie again, basically I'm gonna call you a fucking asshole because I don't lie. I don't lie to you, and I don't lie in general. So fucking drop that shit. Too fucking sweet.
Okay.
Since when do conservatives come?
Okay, so that was a bit of chat energy.
Right now,
I liked
our
it.
institutions are under attack more than they've ever been in the history of our fucking country. Okay, except for maybe the
you
Civil
like
War.
institutions?
Except for that's not what I'm saying. Let me finish. You just want a whole 5-minute soy rant. So let me do my 5-minute soy rant. Okay. So historically, right, we're having huge problems regardless of people trusting anything, okay? One of the big claims that conservative propaganda, bullshit, dipshit people are making is that the government is literally going into the social medias and censoring conservatives. You've parroted this line. You tried to defend it 2 days ago. That conservatives are stepping in and censoring particular stories. Or I'm sorry, that liberals are coming in and censoring particular stories. That conservatives are being suppressed and oppressed across all social media. And now Elon Musk has bought fucking Twitter, and he's done everything. Every fucking thing he has done is what he accused liberals of. He got on in fucking day one. He's tweeting absolute fucking lies about Pelosi having a gay lover breaking into his house. Absolute verifiable fucking lies. As the $44 billion owner of one of the most important social media institutions in the United States, zero conservatives call him out on it. Maybe you did. I hope you did. But I would see zero conservatives call him out on it. And he is engaged in misinformation after misinformation. And then as part of him owning Twitter, now he's leaking the Twitter files to finally show us that all of the government corruption and inclusion in social media that we all feared was there was actually there. But upon inspection, none of it is there. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, so none. So actually, answer this question.
Let me finish. Sure. Not only is none of it there, the leaks actually show that Twitter was acting better than I actually ever thought they were. They were having fierce internal discourse over how they should handle some incredibly complicated stories, and it seems like they did about the best they could. And I applaud them for that. And it seems like there was no government intrusion in a story where I honestly thought that a lot of government intrusion would have been attempted to happen. So props to them for that. But instead, that's not the headlines that are being propagated. Instead, the headlines that are coming out are historic Twitter leaks that are showing all the bad information, all the memories, blah, 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 blah. So it's just a continual downplay, a continual misinformation that everybody seems to be partaking in, and I don't appreciate that. It's triggering the fuck out of me. And then when you come on to defend it, you have no facts to back it up. I feel like I'm talking to Elon Musk, where he's making shit up, nothing is true, and I'm just supposed to pretend like, oh, it's just a conversation. That triggers the fuck out of me, okay? Sorry.
Okay, so don't assign me any positions I don't have. I'll try to walk you through my logic, and you can see whether or not you at least see my logic, okay? So DHS, FBI, they might have like a domestic security interest in what goes on Twitter, right? So if there's like terrorists or fucking people planning January 6th or crimes or bombings or any of that kind of shit, that might be of interest, right? Because basically people do coordinate on social media. So I think we're good there. So they probably have a series of legitimate reasons to be interacting with Twitter and Facebook and social media, or like corporate fucking dickheads all the time, right? So they probably have these task forces, these liaisons who work in social media companies. So let's go to the Hunter Biden story real quick. Do you think that's a story of public interest?
Now I do, yes, but at the time, I wasn't sure.
Okay, so during the election, do you think that the son of a president, somebody seeking the office of the highest land in the state, you can say that Trump's a bigger piece of shit. But
wait, you could put a message with your sub? If you don't have a green name, are you really even in this chat? And if so, why does your opinion matter? What? Oh, is it because you resubbed? Oh. When you resub. Oh, based. Thank you for the resub.
Do you think that Hunter, being a piece of shit, potentially selling influence, selling off his fucking name, doing drugs and banging whores, do you think that's like something that people probably should know about in a regular election cycle?
If it's true, yes.
Okay, so, well, I'm pretty sure we know it's true at this point, right?
That's the whole problem. At this point, we do. But you have to admit that at the time, it looked fake as fuck. Do you admit that? Or are you...
Okay, so for instance, if I see a young man who looks like Hunter Biden hanging out with fucking prostitutes with drugs on the fucking table and all that kind of shit, and I can do digital forensics that show that it's not a Photoshop, why would I believe that that wasn't true?
No, the question is the story about how it leaked. Does it sound likely that Hunter fucking Biden left his laptop at a random store and like Giuliani got his hands on it to like publish material? Does that sound like a real story?
Wow, thank you, Pete, as well.
Like in retrospect,
I've known some pretty shitty crackheads, but that could be a personal thing.
In retrospect, that is what happened. But at the time, that sounds like an exceptional story. Like, holy fuck, I didn't believe it was real. That's an exceptional story, right?
Okay, so are you saying that the FBI and DHS reps who said, hey, some misinfo is about to come out, they thought it was bullshit?
I don't know if internal conversation on the FBI is leaked in terms of what they thought about it.
Okay, so basically, do you think that it's a little fucked up to have the institutions basically intervene on behalf of one of the fucking presidents to say, hey, this is like, let's say, so for instance, if you want to say you don't know, that's fine. For me, if they did know that it was legitimate and they asked for the story to be slowed down, that would be an abuse of their power.
It would be, but there are two things. One, they didn't do that because there was no government intrusion. And two, it was Trump's FBI.
Okay, read me the Matt Taibbi quote again.
Connor, can I ask you how it's not equally partisan?
Wait, hold on before you... It is partisan. Don't veer off into a whole other topic, okay? Hold
on. I remember being a white named peasant. Those were dark days. Get that sub sigma grind on my peeps. Also, like the damn video. True, like the damn video. It helps a lot. Thank you for the fiver, Ruhans.
Matt Taibbi's quote was, although several sources were called hearing about a general warning from federal law enforcement that summer about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story.
Okay, so for me, although general involvement and blah, 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 that's exactly what you would do as a fucking government official if you wanted to have some level of plausible deniability.
Oh
hey,
my God.
This thing's coming up.
You win.
Why? Hold on, tell me why that's crazy. Tell me why that's crazy.
You win. Because now you're going to tell me that it was all like a secret cover-up and they lied and they were directly involved. I can't win against that argument. You win. You have a conspiracy argument.
No, I haven't.
Yep.
No, I haven't said any of that.
You got it.
No, I haven't said any of that. Why are you assuming that I'm saying any of that? It's actually pissing me off that you're fucking assuming that I'm saying that shit.
So you're telling me right now that there was intrusion, but they did this to have like no liability, so I can't win. What you were saying directly contradicts the Twitter leaks, and I'm just supposed to take your word for it because like
how is it directly fucking contradictory to say that a general warning was issued a week or two before the fucking story leaked? Probably because they had sources inside the company. Let me finish the fucking story because of fucking Zuckerberg.
Okay.
Zuckerberg saying that he talked about the fucking before the Hunter story dropped.
But was there a threat that the Hunter story was gonna drop, or was it just in general that there's like a lot of weird comms and shit going on the Russian side?
It was general, and he assumed.
Okay, so if it's general, is that even false? Do you think that statement is false by intelligence, or do you think that's a true statement?
Yes, if the FBI liaisons and the fucking DHS liaisons knew that it was the Hunter story and they knew it was true, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, hold on, I'm sorry. I have to do a ton of, because I've got to put the conspiracy together, like you're saying. So
dude, that's not even, dude, you're acting like I'm asking you to do algebra, and I'm asking you to do arithmetic.
You are alleging a conspiracy. So let me tell you the conspiracy you're alleging, okay? You're alleging that our intelligence knew about the Hunter Biden story. They knew in advance that it was going to leak. And so they preemptively went to the social media companies and said like, hey, you guys need to do something.
I pronounced Ruhan's correctly? Wow, dude, that's great. That's great. I went for it. Okay. Hey, listen, I'll take credit where credit's due. I went for it.
Something because there might be some misinformation, right? Knowing that the Hunter Biden story was coming through the pipeline and that it was actually real, but they wanted to censor it. But you have no evidence for any of that. But that's what you think.
What kind of evidence would you? Okay, so why would they have the correlated fucking timelines almost immediately? Why would the social media managers assume that's what they were supposed to do?
Well, first of all, I don't know about Zuckerberg because I haven't seen that yet. But Twitter, there's no indication that they're assuming that like the FBI gave them that order.
Okay, so then let's actually back up. So there's no evidence that the FBI gave them that order. So they just took it on under their own volition in order to help out the Biden campaign. That basically they were gonna, through their own volition, voluntary, of course. So voluntarily, they decided to slow down a fucking story.
Let's assume what reasonably could have happened. Let's say that story breaks and it goes viral on your social media platform, and Joe Biden loses the election by 1 or 2 points, and then it comes out that the story was actually completely fake. How do you feel now?
I don't know. Is like liberalism and the free flow of information and freedom of speech only like active when it's convenient? Like, is that the only time that we give a shit about it?
I ask you to pull Trump's dick out of your fucking ear and think for 1 fucking second, because that was what they saw in front of them. That it was possible that an election, a major presidential election, could be massively influenced.
It's embarrassing. You don't know shit about me. Okay, like, I'm not a fucking MAGA supporter. I'm not a Trump supporter.
I don't know how you can't fathom this unbelievably fucking obvious point then. The worry that they had.
You think I don't understand the rational self-interest? Do you think that I'm that stupid? Because it's actually kind of insulting.
It seems to be because you seem to think that the only possible explanation for their activity is some secret FBI intrusion when there's a really obvious story.
I think there's perfectly reasonable rational motivations for everybody involved.
Well, I see all of the evidence has been laid out, including the Twitter leaks, and they support every single part of my story 100%, and you have zero evidence for yours. So if you have nothing compelling to tell me, all you're doing is spinning conspiracy theories.
Zero evidence. You know that I've conducted investigations before, right? You understand that I know the difference between like hard evidence and circumstantial evidence, right? You understand that I also understand that like you can basically postulate about things that are going on based off of correlated information, but just because I can't prove it in a court of law doesn't mean jack shit, right?
You don't have any evidence for anything.
You're denying fucking reality and logic.
I'm not denying reality and logic. You're giving me a just so story because it sounds good to you, but by your own admission, you have no evidence for any of it. I have evidence. I can give you a piece of evidence for every single claim I'm making.
You are acting like every single person in this story is a soulless fucking robot without moral intuition or rational self-interest. And the people who like, so for instance, the DHS liaisons, the FBI liaisons, the fucking people who work for the state, the people who work for Twitter, all of their fucking all of their behavior within my theoretical fucking reality is all so easily explainable. It would be fucking mind-blowing if they didn't follow the fucking path that I laid out.
I want to do a little test here, okay? I'm going to write out both of our stories, okay? And then you can tell me if you agree with my characterization of mine and then your characterization of yours, okay?
Okay. I like
Ready?
this.
Okay. I'm listening. Okay. So this is Steven's version, okay? Here are a few events that happened, okay? So
and by the way, if you're gonna give me like a 3-minute fucking Stevens version, if you give me a shitty 3 minutes Connor's version, I want 3 minutes, and I don't want to be interrupted during that 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm just gonna write about there's a very quick, okay? So in Steven's version, okay, due to prior Russian intrusion in U.S. Social media, the FBI plus I'll just say FBI. The FBI warned social media companies of potential Russian propaganda. I'll just say that, okay? The Hunter Biden story gets published by the New York Post on Twitter. Twitter reviews the story, initially feels like it has a lot of Russian propaganda flags.
Wait, what is that link you just sent me in Twitch chat?
Censoring the story initially because it also seemed...
Connor is alleging that Twitter maliciously buried the Hunter story when Twitter freely admitted they recklessly did so and regretted doing that. Did they admit that they recklessly did it? I legitimately don't know. Saved you an hour? This looks like a meme compilation, not like an actual discussion compilation.
To conflict with their hacked materials policy because they were unable to authenticate the source of the story as being valid. And I think it's the next day or maybe week, Twitter revises their hacked materials policy, and they allow the story to circulate. I think it was a week later.
Relly, for $5, I need the content. Fuck, marry, kill, options, Destiny, Chud, Logic, Wicked Supreme, go, quick, hurry, PS, Chud may have content pilled me. I'm gonna marry Wicked Supreme, because I like that guy a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and... You know what? I'm going to... Oh. Fuck, man, that's actually tough. I'm fuck Destiny, kill Chud. No, I gotta fuck Chud, kill Destiny. I'm sorry, bro. It is what it is. It's tough. The blue hair ain't doing it for me.
Okay, that's my version. Okay, your version is the FBI catches wind of the Hunter Biden laptop story, knowing it is true. They give warnings ahead of time to social media companies in the hopes that they censor it due to the political damage
Slow it down.
It can cause Biden. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just saying, instead of censor, say slow it down.
Okay, that they slow it down, whatever that means, due to the political damage it can cause Biden. Okay, the Hunter Biden story gets published by the New York Post on Twitter. Twitter reviews the story, and remembering the earlier FBI warnings, decide to slow the story down because they are worried that it will hurt Biden's campaign or Biden's electoral chances.
Or their relationship with DHS and Homeland Security and the FBI.
Or their relationship with DHS, Homeland Security, FBI. Okay? Okay.
Why is this
for my
red?
story, I know that there was prior intrusion in U.S. social media.
Wait, why is that red?
I can say the Mueller indictments. I know that the FBI is probably reaching out and talking to a lot of social media. I'm pretty sure they've talked about it in front of Congress. And Zuckerberg's talked about it. We know this happened, right? Now, I know that Twitter reviewed the story, and I see the internal discussion they had about whether it looked like Russian propaganda, that they weren't sure if it fit the hack materials policy, that people went back and forth on it. I know that. I have those conversations sourced. I know that Twitter eventually reversed their decision and revised their policy, and that there was a lot of terror between whether it went one way or another internally. I know all of that. I've seen the sources for all of that. Now, in the second part here, your part about how the FBI knew about the story far in advance and gave warnings to social media, I have no evidence of that at all.
Can you take a leap of logic for me? Can we assume that Giuliani and Trump are fucking retarded, and because they're incompetent and people will be motivated to try to get them out of power within their own camp, that they probably had more fucking leaks than the goddamn Iraqi Navy? And they were probably talking shit about how they had this big nuke that was going to sway it their way for weeks before they released it, and people outside of the Trump camp would have been likely aware of that. Can you take that leap of logic?
That's a lot of probablys.
Wait, so that Giuliani and Trump were
Shut the
stupid?
fuck up. That is like
they didn't
fucking,
leak it ahead of time.
That's like understanding
but it got
humanity.
Leaked. Okay, assume FBI found out. Okay, so my two assumptions are that Giuliani and Trump were stupid. So even though if they didn't leak it ahead of time, it got leaked. And then
but just for the sake of the conversation, can you admit that Giuliani and Trump were stupid? Just so I can have one concession from you. Thanks.
Yeah, I will concede that Trump is stupid and so Giuliani. But
wow, okay, cool, thanks.
For my
Appreciate
story, I can source and cite every part of it. On your story, I'm already off the ground with two pretty big assumptions. Okay, but that's fine. Hunter Biden story gets published on the New York Post on Twitter. Twitter reviews the story, remembers the earlier FBI warnings, and decided to slow it down for political reasons because they're worried it'll hurt Biden's electoral chances or their relationship with the FBI, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what are my assumptions here? That assume most
that Twitter is self-interested and wants to comply with government officials they have a close relationship with, and on top of that, it could hurt the person that they're most sympathetic to, which, by the way, this is also like baby steps emotional logic. Ooh.
God damn, that word per
I feel
minute.
like y'all are acting like I'm fucking crazy, and I'm literally like explaining.
Oh no, this is on 1.5x. It's still a little impressive.
Rational human behavior based off of motivations that are self-evident.
I can explain
well, I mean, like, keep in mind that you're talking about Trump's intelligence departments too, right? Because Donald Trump is the president, so this is...
No, these people fucking hate him.
Okay, the FBI took possession of a copy of the laptop and the hard drive in December 2019.
Okay.
So they would have had time to fucking know that whether or not it was true.
Maybe. Do we know if they knew that it was true or not? I don't know if that's the case or not.
If they took possession of it fucking a year before it fucking... Oh, wait, no, was it a month? Month or two?
No, it was December 2019. The laptop story didn't break by Giuliani until October 2020, so it was about 10 months afterwards.
Oh, so yeah, so you're telling me that in a year's time they can't do fucking digital forensic to verify whether or not the story is true?
The thing is,
you're also telling me that it wouldn't take a year.
Rally, will you still do Discord or ban where you're getting 1 to 2K plus viewers? Bro, if I'm getting 1 to 2K plus viewers, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I've been doing to keep up that kind of shit. Are you joking? I like Discord or ban as a concept. I'll try and keep it going for as long as I can. I know that's not the perfect answer, but that's the answer I'm gonna get. I love Discord. I think it's a lot of fun. Jack Dorsey said that he regrets the censorship of the story in the New York Post and that the handling of the situation was freelance with no evidence of the government censoring the story. Okay. Thanks for that information, Strader.
The leak.
Well, if that's the case,
that Trump planned on using it as a nuke.
Why didn't they explicitly then tell, if they knew about this internet, why didn't they explicitly tell Facebook and Twitter to censor the story?
Because who wants to backstab your fucking boss?
What?
If Trump won, they would have been fucked if they found out that explicit members of the DHS and FBI had gone to social media companies in order to do something that would have.
You just 60 seconds earlier said that they all hated Trump. Now they want to be loyal to him?
As a matter of fact, I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to sit here and see if you can figure that out for yourself for a second. Can you figure out in an election why you might not know who your boss is in a couple of months, and you might not want to take a massive shit on your asshole boss's desk? Can you rationalize that for me, or are you playing dumb?
While you're simultaneously saying that they're trying to like sway the whole election by pressuring social media to censor a story? No, you can't. Both of those positions can't be true at the same time.
Dude, I can't tell if you're autistic. Like I get like you're a liberal.
If I wasn't playing Factorio, I might like try to like maybe walk both of us through this, but like something is one of us is severely missing the mark on this. I don't know how to.
Okay. So if
damn, one of my people are angry.
Who are a part of many of the institutions think Trump is an incompetent buffoon. Okay, many people knew as much. They interacted with him. They thought the dude was a fucking idiot, right? So as a result, they would prefer Biden because Biden, despite being a fucking Democrat, probably understands the levers of power to the point that Obama did. Where yeah, sure, he'll talk shit about the military or the industrial complex or the fucking, the intelligence agencies or whatever, but they'll largely play ball. So Biden is preferable to Trump to almost everybody in the deep state, which is I know a term that makes you cringe, but I don't give a fuck. So Biden winning would be better, but also you don't know how the election is going to go. So there's a possibility that Trump could win. So if you have internal memos that show your name in your email showing that you're trying to fuck your boss, you are not only going to get blacklisted, you're probably going to be fucking shit canned.
But when did you get? But they've already done.
So why would you play the game intelligently?
Because they're already doing it. You're saying by them going out and warning the social media companies, they're already doing exactly that.
Yeah. Do you have any names? Do I have any names?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that if Trump wanted to, we could probably get them. If he's literally the president of the United States, he could probably find out who in the FBI is communicating with Twitter. That would be my guess. My guess is these are probably all public somewhere. Okay.
So all right, dude. Again, like I feel like it's fucking baby steps logic.
I mean, it's not. It's like this is all like super bog standard like conspiracy theory logic. Like you're super.
Spies and intel analysts can't leak information intelligently in such a way that it favors their needs but doesn't fuck them over.
That's like a sentence that you are
fucking
saying back to me.
Yeah, we're like Mr. Girl levels of like meta conversation right now. In order to
no,
build out
we're not. By the way, like our perspective is like 85% in alignment and in.
Would you Discord or timed out for less serious / silly takes? No, probably not. Well, time out maybe. The whole point of Discord or ban is supposed to encourage not having a echo chamber of people. That's supposed to be the whole point. That if you have a radically different opinion than me, we can almost certainly talk it out and get to a point where either we're amicable or where we at least hear each other out and you're not just throwing shit inside of my chat and I don't have to ban you. That's typically supposed to be the point of it. I don't like banning people just because they have a differing opinion from mine. So I did that. And I think it's very successful at that. The only problem is obviously people have lives, and while they're watching my content, they might be at work, and so some people slip through the cracks. But I think it's the best system we got, and especially with the policy that there's damn near nothing you can do while in the conversation that will get you banned. I think it's a good policy to have. So I don't know. I haven't thought about changing it very much because it's been very effective.
15% of it, you're pleading ignorance, and I'm assuming some level of intentional and rational action. You're acting like we're f***ing galaxies apart, and we agree on like 85% of the facts. It's actually kind of crazy that you're acting like I'm f***ing crazy.
But is it okay if you guys disagree here? Even though you feel like you agree with him so much? It does seem like
he doesn't want to speculate.
No, yeah, that's the problem, is that your story is built out of analytic leaps, and Steven's entire story is built out of evidence. There's a source for every single claim he's making, and your evidence is all in Connor's mind. You're building an entire story. You're doing what's called, in reporting, you're outsmarting the evidence. You're trying to like mastermind a narrative for which there isn't evidence to support.
Yep.
Okay,
Connor, you're using a bunch of like inductive logic, and Steven's trying to use like deductive logic only when it comes to this. And what you described as like baby steps, you're making huge leaps to assume maliciousness when there's none.
You guys are assuming maliciousness. This would all be perfectly like explainable through their own fucking allegiances. Like all right,
it could be, but you have to prove that.
I would have to prove that. Is this a court of law or is this a Twitch panel?
A single point of proof for a single claim. Any of your claims. You have no proof.
You mean like the ones where Zuckerberg said the FBI gave me a heads up months before that there was going to be a major disinfo leak and that correlated heavily with the Hunter Biden story? How about the other info that somebody brought up in this conversation that the FBI had the laptop for the better part of a year and would have had the ability to verify the veracity of the claims? That way, if Twitter reached out to their FBI or DHS representatives, they could have said, "Hey, is this true?" And they would have said yes because they had opportunity to analyze the evidence. You mean that kind of evidence?
Nothing that you just said is evidence for anything of what you said. I don't know.
Dude, you're acting like I'm a fucking 19-year-old who has zero professional experience, whereas I've actually worked in the defense industry and the security industry. I've worked investigations, and on top of that, I understand intel because my friends are fucking in intel. I also understand
how if I made a report on this, it wouldn't go out.
Connor,
of course it wouldn't go out.
without matching bitch energy. Please,
no
just
shit,
point
I
out
don't have
one thing.
Hold on one second. I gotta address Supreme real quick. So Supreme, you worked as a fucking translator. Do you think I have signals intelligence in my fucking backyard? Do you think I have 60 hours a fucking week to search open source?
You don't have humans. You don't have SIGINT. You don't have any kind of intelligence.
No
It's all
shit.
Just,
So I'm going off of what's available.
I don't know what
You're
those
drawing a
things.
narrative yourself and telling us it's true, despite the fact that it's not supported by any evidence.
Okay, you guys keep saying any, and it's actually pissing me off.
No, evidence is something concrete that you can point to, not logic. Logic is not evidence.
Connor, can I please point something out to you without
yes,
having
please,
to
I'll
match
listen.
energy? Because I feel like you are getting really offended that people aren't believing you, and you feel like it's like a dig at your character, at your investigation skills. But you really did come in here with a point to make about the Twitter algorithm that you dragged your guy in to defend, and he came in here to have to correct you and to say that he offered to go more in depth to you so you could understand it better, and you didn't feel the need to really like learn more about it from him before you came here and made an argument based off of it.
Okay,
So it doesn't seem like
no,
you're making
Sherry,
good judgments.
Okay, Sherry.
Normally, I'm with you there, skeptical, too many chefs in the kitchen. Normally, I'm with you there, but I haven't seen anything too disruptive from the individuals adding in on this conversation. Well, especially with somebody, I don't know, I'm not sure what everybody else's qualifications are, but I think Wicked Supreme is a phenomenal person to be in the conversation because he has, lived experience inside of intelligence. Literally in the government, and couldn't imagine a better spot for him to get to weigh in. Maybe it'll. That's what you say now. Oh, does it get worse? Does it get bad? Does it get real bad? Wait, who gets bad? Who starts shitting on good freeze frame on Destiny?
What was my perspective and what was his perspective and what was the difference between the two? And if anybody else thought
He is the one who used those words, that he offered to explain it to you more in depth and that you
he
didn't
talked about this for
get
2 hours. And on top of that, I don't understand what he said in the past 2 minutes. That's different than what I said, except for maybe I used words that he's uncomfortable with. So
That's the
Sherry,
thing is
you
you don't
listened. Hold
understand
on. You listened to me talk. You listened to Tay's talk. Could you explain my perspective and his perspective and what's the difference between the two perspectives?
I didn't write both of your things down. I'll rewatch
so you
it and I'll write it down and I'll send it to you.
basically,
I listened to the part where he said that he had to correct what you said about him and that he offered to explain it to you in depth.
I'm gonna pull a fanatic.
Go ahead. I'm not saying anything incorrect, but you're like the fact that I don't have the memory to recall both of your statements is what you're gonna rely on. And whatever, that's just fine.
So don't worry, I'll re-summarize my position and then Taze can correct my position a second time. Okay? My position was that based off of the conversation that I had with Taze, he believed that the fucking algorithms were not intelligent enough or designed specifically. Maybe that was his contention. They weren't designed specifically to identify political factions. Hold on.
Yep.
Shut the fuck up.
I understand that one sounds really...
I don't need your help. Thank you. So fucking that they weren't designed to identify political affiliation and then throttle or accelerate stories based off of political affiliation. That's what I believed he said. So Taze, could you explain to me where I'm not understanding you?
No, that's pretty much it. It's just about what they were designed to do and what would be the expectation of those algorithms to what they'd be designed for, given the context of their.
Well, straight array, why wouldn't you stream? What are you thinking would be the reason why you wouldn't? Just time, or why not? Depends on what you want out of it. It doesn't have to be time consuming or whatever. The only real negative that I could think of is potentially career impact. If you try, I'm gonna have trouble getting a career personally with some of the things that I've said if people find out, but
massive social media company, they're competing with other social media companies. It's going to be designed to do a very specific thing. And if they wanted to tack something else on, it would be their ad algorithm, which I know we discussed, being a separate algorithm that would operate with it. It's just, it's
Okay, and if I could identify,
I should probably get some mileage out of this bio degree I paid for.
Where I went wrong is I said that the algorithm couldn't do these things. No. Okay, so where I went wrong is I said the algorithm couldn't do these things, which is not what Taze said. Taze said that they weren't designed to do these things. I would hire you? That's what you took issue with. Am I correct, Taze?
Yes.
Yes, but I also would not necessarily follow you into the depths of all of this.
I don't give a And by the way, my offense is not whether or not people believe me. I don't give a flying whether or not anybody in this room believes me, including Destiny.
About how you investigate and stuff like that. And have the dude come in and say that he offered to explain this to you more in depth, but you didn't take him up on it. What kind of investigation is that?
We talked for 3 hours yesterday. You're going for a fucking dunk and it's the most retarded dunk.
I'm not going on a dunk. I'm trying to show you that it doesn't seem like you're making
You don't listen to your friend, you're disconnected from reality, even though I'm literally able to repeat everything he just fucking said.
I'm trying to show to you how you have conspiracy brain right now. You're not letting me do it in a kind way.
Okay, well,
just to be clear,
excuse me if I don't feel like getting patted on the head by you right now.
I guess that's true.
I don't have the technology to be able to go super in depth on these things. I'm not saying that I have some expertise in this where I could. I didn't offer it to him. I said I could try to get more in depth, but I didn't think it was necessary because I was able to articulate just, hey, here's.
If you pursue a coding career, would you still stream? Probably. Probably see if I could. I'm gonna keep streaming for as long as really I can. I know streaming is gonna be hard when I do the coding boot camp, but I'm gonna try and keep going as long as I can. I like streaming. I know I get a lot of support for streaming. I mean, both individuals liking the stream, which more of you should do. It helps a lot. Genuinely, it helps a tremendous amount. But also like people donating and stuff, it helps quite a bit. Unfortunately, I do need to start making more money with how life is going and where the trajectory it's moving in. So it is what it is, but that's life. Yeah. I have a great opportunity to be able to make more money with programming and coding. I have like 13 different people that are saying they can get me hired for good money at good positions if I can learn how to code. So I'm gonna keep my head down, get that shit done. See if I can't stream while I do it. Stream the boot camp. Yeah, I know. Don't let your employer know about your stream. Don't tell them catch you streaming on your work hour. Yeah, nah, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try and avoid any collaboration with that shit. I'll start an OnlyFans, my brother. That's not gonna happen.
Main concern why none of this like sort of concept of just slowing down content based on like a specific topic seems to not be true based on what these things are designed for. That's all.
Okay. And by the way, hold on before you go. I'm gonna explain why I'm upset. I'm not upset because people don't agree with my opinion. Opinions are fucking assholes. Everybody has one. They smell like shit.
That is why
okay?
you're upset.
I don't give. No, that's not why I'm upset. The reason why I'm upset is because Destiny, who I don't expect to be as parasocially invested in me as I'm invested in him, but we've been on panels together, but he's reviewed some of my debates, but he knows me through mutual friends. But he's painted me as a fucking MAGA dick-sucking lunatic who is just making shit up. Even though 85% of our perspective, shut the fuck up, 85% of what we believe about the world is the same, and I'm making inferences that seem fucking small to me personally, but for the sake of content, he's pretending that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, but sorry, real quick, just because a claim was made about my. Okay, I don't believe that you're a horrible person. I just think there are certain topics that rot the mind, and Hunter Biden's talk is one of them. For a lot of conservatives, it's like vaccines, but there are certain topics that just rot the mind, and I think that these are one of those topics. So, but
I would say I have like an 80% more chill perspective than the rest of conservatism combined.
I'd like to test that for a second. Okay, sure. So this is Ruminate. I'm sorry, I was off looking at Jedi Survivor, new game coming out. Looks really cool. I had two questions. Okay, I was there it is. And you may have answered these already, but you mentioned something like either 15 minutes or 2 hours ago about the FBI, and you said, my understanding is, you said that the FBI was motivated to not potentially tank their possible future boss's political career by coming out or by allowing the Hunter Biden story to develop naturally. Is that correct? Because I've got a question.
No, so if I misspoke, so what I'm trying to say is the FBI DHS liaisons, the people who had this conversation about the misinformation, they would want to slow down the Hunter Biden story potentially in order to help Biden during a sensitive time during the election. Even buying them a couple of weeks at this point, I think was important. And then even having the contention about whether or not this story was hacked or ill-gotten or anything like that already colors the story in a different way that helps the Biden campaign. But, hold on, just real quick.
Sorry.
With Trump, if Trump won and found out these specific names that they had ordered social media companies in order to kill the story, slow it down, whatever the fuck, then those people would have been fucked. But at this point, because of the way they did it, they would have plausible deniability where they could say, oh, well, it wasn't that. We just had random chatter on the net about Russian disinformation. The Hunter Biden thing was just a time coincidence.
I got you. What I understood you to say earlier is that the FBI was basically hedging between Trump and Biden and trying to act in the least non-committal way in case Biden won. And that
they wanted Biden to win, but they also didn't want to individually fuck themselves if Trump won.
Okay, can I ask you why you think the FBI wanted Biden to win?
Yeah, actually, can you worked in the intel community? Can you tell me why plenty of people in the DoD and the intel community wouldn't want Trump as a commander-in-chief?
Just answer the question straight.
No. Supreme comes from the same community that I come from.
Yeah, I came from the community where information was found about Russian interference in the 2016 election, and it was leaked by Reality Winner. They put her in prison.
What does that have to do with things?
Okay, I worked for institutions that demonstrated. Dude, I will never ever forget the very first day Trump became president. They fucking hung up the pictures. They hung up the pictures the next day, and it was business as usual. Like, we were subject to the Hatch Act, right? Like, you were subject to the Hatch Act when you were working intel, or you say that you did some intel or something like that.
Okay, so I did investigations in law enforcement. I did fucking logistics in the Marine Corps, and I have fucking intel.
Are you familiar with the Hatch Act?
No, please familiar.
We're not allowed to discuss politics and shit at work. We're not really allowed to talk about that. We're not allowed to make any endorsement. Nobody in any sort of leadership position. You're not even supposed to talk about this stuff openly. The Hatch Act is an act that that governs certain members of the executive branch and I think maybe the judicial
Bernie,
branch as well. I can't remember.
It will go back
but
over
like
it, yeah.
where you're not allowed to make any endorsements of a given party or something like that. And
You were a detective? I thought you were just a cop for 3 years.
I was a patrolman for 3 years. I worked in the schools, but I also conducted investigations as a patrolman. You still do investigation.
In like middle school?
Okay, aside from that, I'm going to answer your question.
Do you know what patrol
Stop. I'm going to answer your question.
Sherry just straight up asked him, were you a resource officer?
More because this is more interesting and it's also like more critical to the conversation. I worked in an institution that was comprised of like hundreds and hundreds of different offices, all like headed by different people that had different political predilections and had different backgrounds and stuff like that. There was one point where I was working in an office where like the dude behind me was reading Breitbart every day, and the dude to the left of me was like an Ivy League, like whatever, intellectual Democrat guy, and the guy to the right of me like didn't give a fuck about any of it. He was like an army dude or whatever. Like it's a huge mix and match of things. If you think like that there was some institutional wave of political predilection or something like that, and that there was some sort of internal coordination, I imagine this would have to come from like a higher level or top down. And like if that's true, do you have anything to support this other than Connor just thinks so?
No, Connor just thinks so.
Okay.
But at the same time, hold on, because I need you to follow me on a fucking logical leap. You're talking about fucking grunts. Like, so you're talking about fucking people who are on the bottom level who are more interested.
Wait, why do you think I'm talking about grunts?
Grunts.
Why do you think I'm talking about grunts?
Were your people fucking high level? Did they make policy decisions? Were they rubbing elbows in the Beltway?
Dude, I interface with leadership of like entire office, like entire branches. Yeah, departments.
Okay, so you're saying that if somebody walks into a fucking meeting, and this is where like at some point
Supreme is just trying to flex how important he was, bro. That's all he's trying to do. That's his whole participation.
I just have to assume that people are fucking pretending to be stupid. So you're saying that like if somebody walks into a meeting with Joseph Biden or Barack Obama or even Ron DeSantis, and they have an hour-long meeting with that person, and then they have a meeting with Trump for 4 hours because the dude fucking likes to rant and they can't get through the fucking briefings because the dude's a fucking toddler, they're gonna have no opinion about who should be running the fucking country, and they would take no actions in order to fucking make sure that the right person ended up at the wheel.
Let me see if I understand this correctly. You think because if like a PDB runs long under Trump, that the person like delivering the PDB is going to be so annoyed that they're going to try to orchestrate internally like a surreptitious campaign to puppet social media companies to like maybe on an off chance suppress a story that might fit perfectly in line with a very general warning?
Dude, I can't believe
that is what you're claiming.
I'm seriously wondering. Okay, but I'm just seriously wondering if like I'm the only person who's been paying attention. General Mattis pretended he was like, "Hey, don't worry, all the decisions are being made by fucking adults in the room," right? And he did that for a few years. He resigned after 2 years because he basically said that Trump was a fucking retard and a threat to the republic.
Yeah, he resigned. He didn't coordinate a coup from the inside. He didn't coordinate like a sabotage campaign against the Trump
What
administration.
do you think you're fucking SecDef going in fucking public in order to tell the world that you're a fucking retard? What do you think that normally does?
What about when Comey did it to Hillary Clinton 4 years earlier?
Based.
Yeah, just kill me. Just absolutely just fucking kill me. Okay, I don't know. Right?
Aside from that,
hold on. What the fuck does one person fucking snitching about another political person? How does that bear any logical inconsistency based off of what I'm saying?
Well, the point that Wicked Supreme is trying to get across to you is that what you are, I don't think you understand how phenomenal what you're alleging is. Like a coordination between a whole group of different people with different political beliefs that aren't even allowed to discuss that work, that all these people would come together to not just like, we're going to like put like a diuretic or whatever in Trump's coffee or some shit, but that we're going to come together, we're going to reach out external of our department, we're going to go above our heads of bosses, or maybe this is all coming from a head, I guess, and then nobody's reporting it despite all the political differences, and that we're going to coordinate to try to sabotage Trump's campaign in a highly sophisticated manner. You are alleging a conspiracy.
Sophisticated? All they did was say, hey, this could be bullshit.
No, stop.
You're doing this thing where there's simultaneously sophisticated actors that are smart enough not to give their name, that are smart enough to drop hints that won't incriminate any of them, that are intelligent enough to know what stories are coming. They figure this out, and you're saying they're really, and then you're saying, oh no, they're just dumb, they're just saying a thing. Like your actors can't be simultaneously like basically attempting almost like a quasi coup from the inside, but also like these dumb, maligned actors that are just stupid and mad at the same time. They can't be both.
Yeah, like if I can give an analogy, it's basically like if there's a food fight that breaks out, like every student and cafeteria aide and teacher, like they're gonna know who did it. Like everyone's not gonna all of a sudden be blind and not know what happened.
Okay, yeah, and anybody who's had a fucking boss, if you can hide your fucking the shit that you're doing behind a legitimate work-related reason,
but you're just assuming that either a majority or people that are like in leadership or something like that didn't like Trump as a boss and were determined to oust him from office surreptitiously and illegally or something like that.
Who said illegally?
What you're saying would be illegal.
In secret.
Well,
they're doing their jobs. They're preventing misinformation that they had for the better part of a year.
I just want to address this
from getting out.
This is like a really important misunderstanding of one of the claims that you're making about the warning that they were putting about of general misinformation. Like we know postmortem from 2016 that there was a bunch of foreign misinformation and foreign attempts to like interfere with our election and stuff like that. And in the private industries, like social media companies, would have been very interested in knowing when that's the case because of the blowback that Facebook got because of the Cambridge Analytica
story. Was huge.
So hold on, stop. Yep. So you're saying that DHS and FBI are making general warnings, and you're asking us to make the inference that they are knowingly making a warning, thinking that they know that the Hunter Biden Biden story is going to come out and it's going to be disregarded. The problem is the evidence that we have that came from the Twitter files. They never mention the government at all. In fact, they specifically say we need to learn from the lessons of 2016. So this was Twitter internal staff literally referring back to the Cambridge Analytica blowback, and they're just simply looking at that with tunnel vision. They're saying nothing about DHS. Did you read the Twitter files yet at this point?
Yes, I've read.
Okay, so they're specifically okay. So in their internal conversations, they're never mentioning anything about the FBI said this or that or DHS said this or that. They themselves are referring to the thing that would be the reason that they would be concerned about this. It was hotly debated, right? And it culminated in them changing their policy. They literally grew out of this, right? There was internal debate about whether it should be published. A story that was suppressed because it already fell neatly within their own terms of service about a private citizen. They fucking debated about it, and then they ultimately changed their TOS to better serve Republicans in this case, or conservatives, to publish this information were it to come out again in the future because it's in the public interest.
Okay.
And there's evidence for all this.
I don't understand what you're saying. Fucking takes away from what I'm saying. But anyway,
because there's no evidence whatsoever. There's no evidence whatsoever that FBI and DHS are doing this with any intent to suppress specifically the Hunter Biden story. And there's tons of evidence saying the opposite.
Tons of.
Ooh. You know what? There's tons of evidence for though. My brain melting and the like button being smashed by you, the viewer. Okay, I need you. I need to recruit you, please. I'm begging you. I'm literally. Not literally on my knees, but I'm on my knees, okay? My knees hurt. I can't get on my knees, all right? I got bad knees, bro. Help! Put a like on the stream, huh? If you want to see me continuously stream on YouTube, if you want to see an ad-free viewing experience, at least in comparison to Twitch, because Twitch forces me to run mid-roll ads. Not really anything I can do about it. Mid-roll, pre-roll. I believe YouTube only has pre-roll. If you want, as ad-free viewing experiences you're going to get, like the stream. You want to see me continuously stream on YouTube for longer and longer hours? Like the damn stream. Okay? I'm probably not going to be able to get through this video considering it has an hour and a half more footage. But we'll probably tear a good chunk out of this one. Probably a good chunk out of it.
Evidence saying the opposite. You're presenting me neutral evidence at best. What? What? Okay, you're saying that the FBI said, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want, Twitter. They sent emails to the fucking people where like Twitter and fucking Facebook were like, hey, bro, we just want to check in, see if the story's bullshit or not. And the FBI and DHS was like, oh yeah, we not only don't have any problems with it, we want you to publish it. We love you to publish it. That can happen because that would be a positive push from the government to publish the fucking story, which is what you just asserted, rather than a neutral story, which is fucking death.
Okay, Ro Khanna, the Democrat, literally said that it should be published. It's a First Amendment issue. So that would be the only government involvement that we saw from the Democrat side was somebody saying.
Yeah, did you read her email?
I can read it again. I did read it. I can brush up on it again.
Okay, so I'll summarize it for you. Her email was, hey, this fucks us. This fucks the Democrats. But I think that it's a really bad look for you guys to be slowing down a story that's in the public interest. As a result, toot fucking sweet, I would like you to publish this story and eliminate any fucking suppression that you're doing of the story. That was her exact fucking email.
But that goes exactly against your whole letter. So then the only time anybody...
I think that a congressman from Iowa like talks to DHS reps? How retarded do you think I am at this point?
So you're... Okay.
No, I'm serious, because you keep like assigning me shit that's like that would be like 70 IQ in analytics.
By not taking the proper precautions. Listen, when I said I had bad knees, I was kind of joking. All right, my knees aren't great. Okay, a little bony. They're not. It's not that big of a deal. My back is more of an issue of anything. I'm trying to keep good care of my back because some exercises I'm doing or whatever, they're not. Ooh, man, it's tough, man. It's tough. Trying to hit the shit I need to hit without like snap sitting the fuck out of me. Whew. Man, I gotta be careful, but it's working.
Well, just show us some evidence. Show us a source that supports any of the claims you're making.
Do you again going back to you?
You're saying you don't need one. I'm asking for one.
What's that?
You're saying that you don't need one.
Yeah, I don't. I'm making inferences. This is
you're alleging conspiracy at the highest levels, or at some levels, or at a general level within major institutions of the federal government, and you're telling us you don't need any evidence.
All right, so I'll tell you. Hold on, shut the fuck up. I'll give you evidence, okay? Basically, an unrelated story, completely fucking different, but proves that the DoD thought that Trump was inept and needed to be hidden from in order for the military to function. During the fucking Syria pullout, the military was told just pull out, okay? Just pull out. Take your troops out of Syria. Take your troops out of fucking Iraq.
I never pull out.
Can worry about it. Wherever the fucking chips fall, they fall. The military fucking lied to Trump about the troop levels by sending their troops on temporarily assigned duty to Kuwait, to Syria, back to Iraq, and back to fucking Kuwait. And the way that they fucking did that is by cooking the books, because the TAD troops don't have to be reported the same as deployed troops. So as a result, they deployed more troops to Syria while Trump was telling them to get the fuck out. So the institutions were conspiring to lie to Trump about fucking troop levels because he's an incompetent fucking idiot.
I don't know anything about the story, but I gotta be honest, I can't trust you at face value that you're like all these details you're telling me about just based on your analysis and the claims that you've made about this.
Can I bring up something that's factually true that I have firsthand knowledge of, that I know people who are involved in the fucking
You said that about this though too. about that.
Wow.
And then also, can we just be clear? If this FBI story is true, wait, if this FBI story is true, it would be one of probably the top 3, maybe top 2, like biggest like U.S. conspiracies of all time. Like it would be up there with like if JFK is assassin.
Wait, pussy shit.
What?
You think hiding troop levels into deployment is serious business?
No. The Twitter intrusion story. This would be one of the biggest stories of. This would be one of the biggest U.S. scandals in U.S. history. An intelligence department gone rogue.
If FBI or DHS knew that the Hunter Biden story was going to come out, and they said, "Hey, social media companies, just to let you know, some disinfo's coming out. Please slow it down if you want to." And then the social media companies, through their own volition, decide to slow it down when it comes out, and they say, "Hey, FBI, DHS, talking about
GoFundMe for Ahrelevant's knee surgery." I'll tell you what, if I'm about to get a goddamn GoFundMe for it, it's this fucking shitty house, dude. I need to sell this house and fucking burn it. I was telling my brother, dude, whatever we can get for this house, we need to just sell it. Me and my brother's house, it is falling apart. It's like a 90-year-old house, fucking terrible. This place is falling apart. So we're just pretty much at the point where we're trying to, in the most accelerated way possible, we're trying to sell the place. It's got to be the best option. Just get it off I don't care how much I get for it. I do not care. I just want to leave, bro. I just want to leave. I fucking want to leave. Sounds like the house has great personality. If by great personality you mean terrible piping, I think literally some of the pipes have asbestos, bro. It is cooked. Absolutely cooked. Half the paint is probably lead-lined and shit. It's dog shit, man. Terrible place. I don't know, it's bad, man. My GF is getting me a turtleneck for Xmas. I think she's a lurker in the stream and is trying to drip me out like you. Listen, brother. I've seen the way you look. I think it'd work. Hey, man, you can work with the styles, man. I like this style. Kind of like Kevin Samuels like style. Reach out to Dan about the house. He might know how to maximize profit. I might actually unironically do that. It's actually a decent idea. But yeah, I want this house off my hands. I don't care if I'm just selling the land. I just want to go. I already have a place lined up that I might go to. Won't say what it is. I imagine you could guess what it is, but I had a place lined up. So it is what it is.
And they go, maybe. That's the biggest conspiracy theory of the past fucking 400 years.
If the intelligence companies found some piece of information, they realized it was true, and they clandestinely made requests to social media to censor that story to prefer an incoming presidential candidate.
That's not even what I said.
I don't know.
No, I mean, I don't think it's any kind of I might move back in with Darius. I might do that. I might move back in with Darius. That might be happening. Because that was the best place to live I've ever been in. It was so nice. Dan gonna school you on how to give the place the landlord special and sell it. Yeah. You gonna move to Destiny's new apartment? Yeah. Wait, the Darius? Yes, the Darius. I might move in with him again.
Never mind. That is exactly what you said.
No, I feel the same way about my shit, Baba T-Dog. Is Zella also a part of the content? I mean, he's still there. I'm gonna try a lot harder this time to do IRL content. I said it last time, but because we could go down to like colleges and we could do like just ask the college kids stupid questions. That shit'd be funny, bro. I love street interviews so much. Just stand outside of bars interviewing drunk people. Woo, baby! I think that shit is funny, dude. I think Darius might want to do some of that content as well. And, yeah, I don't know. Is Darius a spazzy in real life? Nah, he's chill.
Literally did not repeat back exactly
that is exactly what you were claiming. And
clandestinely requested? I never said that shit.
You said that they made requests in a secret-y kind of way to where it wouldn't be traced back to a particular...
Also, I kind of want to have an open door policy if I stream on YouTube over there, and I just want, like, a chair and shit. I'm thinking I want to do it, like, there's not enough people down there that I know unless I, like, become friends with a bunch of, like, people in the area. But I want, like, a rotation of people that can just come on my stream. I think that'd be very fun. Like, as soon as I get on YouTube or whatever, Darius can just come through, hang out, talk about whatever shit. We shoot the shit, talk about whatever nonsense. But, yeah, I want, like, people. to be in and out of the stream. That's what I want. I think that's fun. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. But I don't know.
Particular person, and they were kind of half aligned with it. That is a clandestine request. What are you talking about?
Really wants orbiters? No, not like orbiters, but like, I don't know. I think it'd be cool to just have people hang out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Steve, the sky is going to be blue tomorrow. You might, or there's going to be traffic on the fucking road tomorrow. You might want to watch the way that you drive tomorrow. Is that clandestine? Am I being secretive, or am I giving you generally good advice that might be convenient for your fucking timeline?
It would be secretive if you knew that there was a particular event that was going on, but you didn't want me to trace. What are you saying? Okay, never mind. Your brain is. This is like a COVID topic. It's just there's no functioning.
No, it's not even fucking close. And by the way, this is still 95% way more.
You and Darius starting a streamer house. That is a separate thing. That I'm not sure. I've thought about doing that shit, but I don't know. Like, that's a hell of a commitment. This is the turtleneck? The good-looking turtleneck. I might actually swipe me one of these. Yeah, I might swipe me one of those. How much that cost? Fuck, bro!
Than what conservatives are reading into this.
I don't care. No, it's not. You're coming from the exact same epistemic conspiratorial background. It's the exact same background. It's
bullshit.
Like Miskiff, he just has random people walk into his place. Unironically, I talked to my brother about this. This is genuinely something that I was thinking about doing. I was thinking about unironically doing IRL street interviews, getting to know some people, being friendly with them, like people that I would just meet walking around outside of bars, maybe at college campuses and stuff, and then unironically just tell them when I'm streaming and just come the fuck into my room and you can just hang out. So straight up Miskiff style. Open door. If I'm streaming, I will be at these times. Just check that I'm come the fuck in my room and just we'll hang the hell out on stream. I've thought about that. I think that's a cool vibe. I like it. I think it'd be fun to do. Yeah, people watch. That's why Miskiff got so popular. It works. I like it. I like the idea of that. I do. Then people get their favorites and whatever. And I think it'd be cool to have other streamers just come through and randomly too. That's the best part is it's random, right? I want it as casual as possible. I don't want it to be like a podcast, whatever thing. I want it to be whatever. Somebody can come through, and if they want to go out and eat, maybe we stop the stream. Maybe we take the stream mobile, go eat or something. I want that. I think that's cool. I think that'd be fun. But it is what it is, you know.
I agree. Mm-hmm. It is bullshit. 100%. It's totally
no. It's bullshit that I'm saying like there's like a 1 + X = 2, and you guys
straight away. I'll let you know. Yeah.
They're like, well, I don't know. X could be anything. I don't get it. What are you talking about? It's fucking crazy to me. All right. Anyways, so the point being that if I believed that the military was capable of hiding troop levels from Trump because they thought it was incompetent, do I believe that a couple of middle managers in the FBI might have wanted to help Biden out a little bit? The answer is yes. I don't feel like it's a huge fucking jump in logic. So does anybody have any pushback on the military troop levels hiding? Do you have any holes in that story that you want to poke? Oh, and by the way, there's one more fucking thing that I have to say before I leave, but I'll let you respond.
I don't think any of us believe. I don't believe that story happens the way you said it is. I'd have to go over it.
It's fucking wrong. It's okay, Connor. I believe you. Thank you, my waves.
So, Connor, just to recap, is it possible for the FBI, aware of all the Russian disinformation, misinformation, and hacking that went on in 2016, to interfere in Trump's favor? Get a copy of this laptop, knowing that Russia will probably try to interfere again in Trump's favor in 2020, and not being able to verify the authenticity of the information or how it was obtained. Just send a general warning to social media companies that, hey, what happened in 2016 may be happening again in 2020.
Were you not the person who said that they had the laptop for 10 months?
They did have the laptop for 10 months.
So why wouldn't you verify the contents of the laptop in 10 months' time, particularly if you knew that it had sensitive information on it?
Well, it wasn't just about the contents, like the validity of the contents of the laptop, but also how the laptop fell into the hands of that laptop repair guy and the Trump campaign.
The blind laptop repair guy.
Is it not possible that just genuinely in good faith, set aside whatever...
Blind? Get recurring characters that are also streamers, so it's like you have your own universe. The plan was to get just completely normal people, like college students and people that go to the bar and shit. Literally just people that I think are cool. That would be the plan. Just get completely normal people. That's the idea. Yeah, I don't know. casual turns to chaotic when it's live streaming. Yeah, the problem is there's gonna be drama, and I fucking hate drama. Well, I hate drama that I'm involved in. So I like to shut that shit down real quick if I'm involved in it. I mean, I love watching the shit from afar. I mean, just like anybody else. But if I'm a part of it, I try and make sure that shit gets done fast. You starting with Darius and you going after normal people? Listen, man. Darius is a very sociable guy. Okay? Very friendly dude. I'm sure we can make some friends just hanging out. Problem is, normal people don't walk into randos' houses, LULW. I think they 100% would if we're just hanging out, yeah. I think I could hang out IRL, meet some people, have some fun. The primarily thing all of this would only really occur if I did the street interviews. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. If I do street interviews and I ask people stupid questions, I think it'd be easy to also, like, get somebody's socials and then, like, message them to, like, come through the spot and hang out. Or just throw a party or something. Thought you didn't like sociable people? Not really. I'm not a very social guy. But this idea sounds cool, and I need more practice talking to people. Because it's kind of hard to do shit as an adult if you're not able to socialize well.
Personal biases, the agency.
Wait, bro, wait till a Mr. Girl appears in your room. Bro, chill, dude. Chill. Let me live in the delusion that nothing is going to go seriously wrong, okay? Let me live in that delusion, okay? I just need that for a moment.
Executives have. That after 2016, if they didn't have the contents verified and being able to trace the information, being able to disconnect it from a possible Russian interference attempt,
he's going to end up in a Mr. Ballin murder video.
Why, then answer me this question. Why would you have so let's say we know Hunter Biden's smoking crack. We know that he's soliciting fucking other people for influence. Whether or not Biden or the Biden family actually gets a cut is a fucking different story. He's probably just using his name in order to leverage his own bullshit. You know, he's banging whores. He's taking pictures. He's fucking lying to people, blah, blah, blah. He's consorting with, like, Chinese billionaires. He's consorting with Ukrainian billionaires. He's basically doing whatever he wants as a fucking rich daddy's boy, right? So you have that laptop. This is all, like, confirmed information. So if you call me a conspiracy nut, I'm literally going to fucking just disconnect. Because
I haven't called you that once.
But not you. Fucking these other fucking algorithmically, these fucking algebraically challenged dickheads.
You have a conspiracy theory, to be clear.
Okay, so guess what? Conspiracies happen, dickhead.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But they require evidence to be validated.
Wrong, loser.
Sure, this is a Twitch panel. This is my opinion. Oh my god.
You're talking to thousands of people.
Well, fuck them and fuck their fucking asses. How about that shit?
So credentialing yourself and, like, saying I've examined this stuff firsthand. I have industry experience.
Yeah, he's a hall monitor, okay? He does have credentials.
Jack got owned in this debate.
God.
Anyways, so the point being that, like,
Jesus
why?
Christ,
okay, so this was my point. Maybe somebody else can answer besides me.
Jesus Christ.
So you have the laptop. You know that it has sensitive.
I said resource officer. You said a hall monitor. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Information. You know, it has information of that shit, and you have 10 months in order to verify its contents. Why wasn't Twitter, Facebook, and the social media companies able to simply pick up the phone and say,
"Listen, I like Counterpoints, man. I think he's a cool guy. I think he's a fun guy. Okay, I don't want anybody's takeaway from this because I like pulling his dick a bit. It's a bit funny, whatever. Just meme on him. You know, he's having a debate. He knows what he's into, and he had the base take when it came to the whole Mr. Girl controversy, whatever shit. This is what the environment is made for. You throw up a position, you get a bunch of people that give their 2 cents, you get your back and forth, you see what shakes out, right? And, you know, he was down with that's why this environment is good. So he's a big guy. He knows what he's on about. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's a cool guy. I think he's I don't know. I find him to be an interesting man. So I don't want somebody's takeaway from this to be like, I hate the guy or whatever. You guys can hate him or whatever. I don't think there's very many people that hate him, but you know, it is. It's all in good fun is what I'm saying. All these jabs are in good fun.
Hey, DHS FBI, is this story true? And if it is true, should we go ahead and allow it to algorithmically go? And then the DHS and the FBI says, actually, yeah, we've had this laptop for 10 months. We know that all the contents are fucking valid and true. And as a result, go ahead.
Would they even be allowed to make that request if it was like an ongoing investigation? Would the FBI even be allowed to comment?
Ongoing investigation into what? Into Hunter?
that laptop, where it came from, like who was trying to release the information about it? Would they be able to make requests like that? Even if it was a finished investigation, I don't know if they'd be allowed to.
Do you think it
comment on
takes 10 months to do fucking digital forensics and find out who fucking drops off a laptop?
I cannot believe,
especially with something of that politically sensitive.
I am gonna make an insult. Okay, you do not have a background in anything related to digital forensics. If you would ask a question that fucking stupid. Yes, there's a reason why sometimes it takes the FBI years to trace devices in investigations, depending on what the origination of.
Is that because of the sophistication of the devices involved, or because of the backlog of evidence?
It could literally be because the laptop has a password on it.
Answer that question. I want a direct answer to that fucking question.
You don't know the answer, and I don't either.
It could have been out of here. It's backlog, motherfucker.
It literally could have been an encrypted drive they didn't have the password to.
No, hold on. No. This is bullshit.
Oh my god.
To answer this question, finding out whether or not digital fucking files are authentic and whether or not the fucking laptop contains the data set that it says that it does, and that it hasn't been hacked, you're saying that would take years?
I don't know if the drive is encrypted.
I imagine it would literally depend on so many factors that the answer would be could be. That is literally the only answer that you could give. Because let's imagine hacked. There is multiple different ways to, in very sophisticated fashion, hack materials or hack into a laptop with very minimal trace being left behind, right? Could take you, like Destiny is saying, there could be certain encrypted shit that you might have to brute force through that could take a millennia, that could take forever to be able to get through, and that's just going to take time. There's no way to shorten that process. Thank you for the $5, Patrick. £5. Thank you for stimulating content and YT chat environment. Genuinely, Merry Christmas and well wishes. I love the drip, and you're looking good, bro. Thank you. Thank you so much, Patrick. I appreciate it. It means a lot. I've been trying to work on the style.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know the connection of the machine
out of here. Even if
you're either lying or
it doesn't matter. Connor, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
matter.
Connor, if you think you have a piece of information that grants you access to like levels of corruption at the highest levels of government, like you're gonna hold on to that shit until you can fucking cast a whole net and get everybody involved. There are reasons that are not related at all. I thought you said you're an investigator. There are reasons not related at all to like how hard it was to verify the information, that the FBI would want to keep that information secret for 5 to 10 years if they thought that it could net them like, you know, major sources of corruption or like, you know, treason or shit like that.
Besides which, there was already a probe into Hunter Biden at the time regarding his tax liability. So we don't know if the laptop was seized via subpoena, grand jury subpoena. And I think it was part of that ongoing.
For the sake of just conceding what's real, if they were continuing the investigation of Hunter or the Biden family at that time, then yeah, they might say, this is too sensitive, we can't confirm or deny these fucking things. Okay? It's a good
I feel
point.
like you should concede on having been an investigator.
Cherry, I've had fucking people murdered in my fucking arms, you fucking dumb cunt. Shut your fucking mouth.
Oh, okay, my dad died.
Well, who could have murdered them if they were in your arms?
Stop!
I'm cracking the case. I'm the investigator.
Please stop. Wow. Why is... What the fuck? Wicked Supreme, bro. That was... Woo! That was spicy, my dude. Jesus.
Damn it.
Y'all are actually like...
My family dog died a couple months ago. What are we sharing here?
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
You're a disgusting...
Jesus Lord, this is memeing so close. Listen, I am an edgy boy. I am an edgy boy, but holy Lord Almighty, these are waters I would never tread into. I'm glad I could watch.
You're actually a bad person. You can go f yourself in the ass with a fucking 40 cal, you piece of shit.
Wow, yeah, I'm the unhinged bad person here. Okay.
Yeah, you actually are, because the thing is...
What else do my ass, Connor?
Okay, so whatever the fuck you want, you dumb bitch. So how about this? How about, yeah, I conducted fucking investigations. I conducted investigations into child abuse, child porn, people getting murdered, people getting their houses broken into, their cars broken into, and on top of that, animal abuse and
officially
fucking child abuse.
Officially
as a fucking job. Yes, absolutely. I took photographs, I took reports, I documented evidence, and I got people convicted. I put more... Ooh, you fucking... I put more pieces of shit behind bars than fuck you, okay? Literally...
You child.
Man. No, literally, you're fucking a dumb...
Jesus Christ! Yo! Connor tried the trauma dump tactic and it was not effective against Cherry or Wicked. Listen, I can understand being like, oh no, you can't just drop that, but Jesus Christ, dude. Hey, listen, bro.
Evil, spoiled...
Too bad you have all that experience and it left you this conspiracy brain then. Jesus, Connor.
Oh my God, what is happening? What is going on, man? What is happening? Woo. Damn.
Because I'm making logical inferences that are seriously the equivalent of algebra.
They're extraordinary claims.
And you know it.
No, I don't.
Oh, he fumbled the bag. Oh, okay, he fumbled it. All right, we're good. We're good now. We're good. fumbled it. Okay. I was gonna say Jesus Christ, but he fumbled it.
I don't know.
I just
All of
really
my
need to
stuff
see
is
your
based
resume
off of
to believe
fucking math. Okay, well, off and die, you dumb bitch.
Jeez,
Dude,
that seems a little rude.
Oh, like, does it seem rude? Does it seem rude that if I actually had like blood?
All I
guts on
said
my
is
fucking
I don't
hands and
think
my
you're an
brains?
investigator. That's it. Look at
What do
you.
you think patrol? Okay,
What's
all
wrong
right,
with you?
all right, let's do this down.
Why are you
Let's
so
chill this out.
angry?
Let's chill this out. So, what do you think
Oh,
patrolmen
now we're gonna
do?
chill out after we're talking about what I can do in my ass and to die?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna calm down?
Sure.
Okay.
What do you think patrolmen do?
He's not just the investigator, he's the regulator of Cherry's ass.
What do you, no. Cherry, what do you think patrolmen do?
Depends, what are you patrolling? The middle school?
God damn! Holy shit, dude! Oh my god! What the fuck is happening? Yo! Jesus Christ, man! These are not sanctioned. These are not sanctioned, bro.
Okay. What do you think regular street patrolmen do?
You said you were patrolling the school. So
For 1 year of my 4-year career.
Did
So
you
I
use
spent
a
3 years on the road.
Segway?
you
I had a
told me
segue. It was actually super
okay, so
based.
it's not 3 years, it's 4 years, but you're on the road for 3 years.
My
You did-
total career was 4 years. I spent 1 year in school. I spent 3 years on the road. What do you think cops do on the road?
Listen, I'm not a cop.
Don't back off of it. You had an opinion on my professional
I have
fucking
only
credentials.
asked
Please
you
tell me what you think that the opinions are. No, please tell me.
Him bringing that up reminded me of Doe bringing up the graphic experience with CSA, which you can do, but you can't expect people to react in a certain way. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was a power move for sure. It was definitely a power play. It kind of like there's no. I don't even understand what the correlation was. So I think yeah, but god damn, holy shit.
I am fascinated. I am
Okay, were you-
autistically focused on your opinion of what law
Maybe a
enforcement
ride-along?
patrolmen do.
If you're on the road, maybe you're pulling people over for traffic violations.
Okay, that's a part of the job. What else do you think they do?
I mean, they just wait for calls. They patrol to see if there's any kind of issues, and then they wait for a call that they have to respond to. It's
Responding to calls?
And what do you think they do after those calls?
File a report.
Connor, can you just get to the point of what you did?
No, I want you to.
They
you to
get
tell me
drunk, baby. That's what they do.
No, tell me what law enforcement officers
I'm
do
not
after
gonna-
they go to a call.
Get donuts? Like, where are you going with this?
God damn.
Listen,
So do they take photos? Do they take fingerprints? Do they investigate?
Wait, Straighter Raid, how old are you? I just. How old are you?
Witnesses? Do they talk to people? Do they cross-reference stories? Do they process fucking domestic violence claims?
Please.
Do they process fucking paperwork back in?
For the love of God, please tell me you're like 19, please. Please, for the Lord. Please, Lord Almighty.
Take photos for crime scenes? Wait, are you claiming that as a patrol officer that you took crime scene photos?
Are you claiming that a
23,
CSI
Jesus Christ.
tech
No,
comes
please.
to every crime scene? You think you
I'm
have a
just
gotcha, but
asking
you're
you.
such a dumb, ignorant.
I
can't
haven't
believe
said
that
yes
you
or
think
no.
that-
I'm
Okay,
asking
all right,
you,
so let me-
as a
so I'm
patrol
asking you a
officer,
question. I'm asking
were
you a
you the
question.
person
I'm asking
taking
you a
photos
question.
at the crime scene?
Yes, I was taking photos at crime scenes. Do you think that we have a CSI tech on call for every single crime scene?
I would have to know what your county is.
Okay, I don't. This posturing is pointless. It's not getting us anywhere. We've gone so far off topic.
Okay, fine. But Cherry, you don't know what the you're talking about, and I'm
Okay,
pretty sure
only
if I
went to
was
school for
meaning
criminal
about your
justice, focused
dead.
in forensic science, but yeah, I don't know what the I'm talking about, Connor.
Okay, so answer this question then, Miss Criminal Justice. Do you think that we have forensics come out to every burglary scene?
I literally answered you that I would have to know what.
Do you think we have
county
them?
you
Do you think that we have them come out to every child abuse scene? Every animal abuse scene? Do you think we have fucking photo forensics people come out every single fucking time? I would like a yes or no answer.
Just think of
I
for a
would
service,
literally
Cherry.
need to know where you
God damn it, Wicked.
I'm not telling you the county where I worked.
Okay, then
How about
why
you
would
answer my question?
Why would I just jump to conclusions on what your protocol was? Like, why would I do that?
Because anybody who
To
did
someone
the
who's
job,
already in here
because
making shit
anybody
up
who
and is
did the
completely
job,
conspiracy brain
because
and was a
anybody
fucking
who
mall
did the
cop for
job,
half his career.
because anybody who did the job more than a week would know that CSI techs don't go to burglary scenes.
Why are you
So what this
asking
tells me-
Ahrelevant sounded like the chatter yesterday? Wait, why am I asking what? What question did I ask? That was weird.
By the way, I'm gonna get real.
Just how about when I asked Straighter Raid her age? I asked because she just made a joke about this guy only eating donuts, and this is like that is a very, very like juvenile joke. I wanted to know if it was if it was age appropriate, but it wasn't.
Personal, because you got real personal with me.
So what
your fucking
you
your
are you
degree?
saying you haven't
no,
gotten personal yet with my ass?
Oh, because I told you to go f yourself. Oh yeah.
Ian Connor,
gave up by his laptop to Connor.
So anyways, so what your degree tells me that you got criminal justice and you got a photo forensics fascination, but then you never followed through, is that you were too much of a
forensics fascination?
Whatever the your goddamn degree is in. The fact that you got a criminal justice degree and then you didn't follow through tells me that you were too big of a pussy to actually go do the job. That's what that fucking tells me.
Okay, how many women did you know on the force?
What?
Half a dozen?
Out of how many? Do you
40?
think it's very common for women to go into policing?
Yeah, butch lesbians love it.
Butch lesbians. Okay. I really don't understand your point here. That if I go to school for criminal justice,
my point is that you were too big of a coward to follow through on your degree program.
Cop, I'm a pussy, and that means that you weren't a middle school cop.
Okay.
Good job.
And you were snaking to get a dunk by assuming that I didn't know what the I was talking about, where cops take photos on crime scenes, but you've never done the job, so you didn't know that we don't call CSI techs for every scene. That's what happened. And by the way,
never said that you did.
And you know what? I loved being a middle school cop because I didn't call anybody a dumb because most people were nice and professional and kind and all that kind of shit. Whereas
really
this fucking job, dealing with you,
Wait, was he actually at a middle school?
I would rather go deal with fucking homeless people who pissed and shit themselves than your rancid fucking ass.
Okay. Literally all of this just because I said that maybe don't call yourself an investigator.
Yeah, hey, Connor, how many conspiracies have you unfurled in your career as a
Okay, this is turning into a bully session. Stop.
It is because he took photos at a fucking crime scene. He's an investigator, and that means something for his conspiracy theories.
Solved the homicide, you dumb bitch. I put somebody behind the light for life. You.
And then you were like, oh my god, I think the FBI hates Trump.
Okay,
I figured it out.
That's a stretch.
You probably put an innocent person behind.
Stop.
Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Yo. What the fuck, man? Bro, that is some rancid behavior, bro. That is some rancid behavior.
Oh my god.
You're just like a dog shit human being.
It's not that personal. We can
well,
just
I mean,
yeah, he said one of them was being security at his school, but I think, did he just confirm it was a middle school?
Okay, Mindwaves, you can tell me it's not personal when somebody gets murdered in your goddamn arms, and then you can help crack the investigation that puts somebody behind bars for life. You can tell me it's not personal then. And until then, anybody who acts like her can f themselves. Metaphorically, of course.
Connor, just to recap, I'll make sure.
Why?
Thank you.
Just want to ruminate. Well, because this like segued. I thought we were on like the cusp of like consensus, and then
were we? We were so close.
Well, so I just want to make sure. Okay, and again, this is the NyQuil potentially, but so is it possible that the FBI, painfully aware of how Russia aggressively worked to hack and engage in disinformation and misinformation in 2016 to interfere in Trump's favor, and also knowing that Russia was trying to do it again in 2020, and also being unaware about the authenticity of the laptop's contents and origins, which are potentially damaging to Trump's political rival, knowing all that, is it possible that they issued a general good faith warning to these social media companies to try to be a bit conservative, a bit cautious, without putting their thumb on the scale one way or another? And that might be why Matt Taibbi didn't find any evidence of direct government pressure on Twitter. Is that
specifically
possible?
attested that there was none?
Yes, with an asterisk. The asterisk being that I think they would have had time, especially considering the importance of the case, to verify the truth of the contents of the laptop. But if there was an ongoing investigation, they might have felt bound to not comment on it.
There were two into Hunter Biden at the time, or at least one into his potential tax liabilities, which began under actually President Obama.
So I think that I believe that the FBI probably knew that it was true. If there was an ongoing investigation, they didn't feel like it was their place, or they were probably legally bound not to comment on it. And as a result, it could have been a good faith attempt to not play into Russian disinformation. But correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the fucking so did the New York Post get this from Giuliani, or did they get it from Russia?
They got the contents from Giuliani.
So how does Russia come through Giuliani?
Well, you're aware that Russia and Giuliani had pretty close contacts, like throughout. I mean, I think it was not only 2020, but wasn't there contact between them and like Igor? I can't remember the names. Again, the NyQuil's getting the better of me, but I know Giuliani. Like Giuliani was Trump's attaché to like Ukraine and Russia during his administration. Am I making that up? Wicked Supreme Mindwaves Destiny.
I'm okay with your assertion. But then at that point, if they know that the fucking shit is true, then what? Their objection to it is the fact that it came from Russia, that Russia gave to Giuliani, and Giuliani is the one who made it public.
We don't know that they did know it was true. That's the thing.
Also, that would be a valid.
I agree with you, Straight Arrayed. If he didn't want his service to be in question, he definitely shouldn't have used it as a kind of, point of authority on the position. I agree. I think that him being scrutinized for his position was fine or whatever, but Jesus Christ, you guys were walking into some optical landmines. That's insane. He was talking about his dead friends and his arms, and you were joking about him being a middle school fucking cop. He's like, yeah, woo! These were, the memes were, woof. Damn. All I'm saying is if Connor decided at that moment to like start crying, I think it could have been grim for y'all. I think it would have looked bad. It looked like some bullying. It really did. It looked pretty bad. Okay? That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Be careful, okay? These optics will kick you in the teeth. Obliviated. I think the only thing he had, he thought was the authority on the subject, which turns out he didn't. What? There's scrutiny for his positions. Then there's suggesting the murder of his friend was probably innocent. They were wild. Well, I think that was a joke. But should you joke about that? Probably avoid it. Probably not. Probably best to keep that at arm's length. But yeah, Jesus.
After 10 months, how would they not know?
Because, well, you asked it earlier, and I thought it was a really good question, about the backlog. Perhaps there was backlog, because if you remember, I said that there was an ongoing investigation into Hunter Biden's potential tax liabilities. And there wasn't like an investigation into, possible corruption or nepotism from Hunter Biden into Joe Biden, and this laptop was seized as part of that. I'm pretty...
Wicked Supreme, huh? We got straight array to subs. Somebody gift enough subs that way Wicked Supreme gets one. What is it, another fucking 10 probably until he gets it? When I'm on other people's stream, anything goes. All right, Supreme, say the N-word then. Just go ahead, say it. OMW gifting 5, who's gonna get it? Timmy catching one, Jade catching one, Thomas, Spiral, Mo, excuse me, McMoons catching one. Supreme not catching it, too slow. Slow hands, old man.
Sure, because it was seized in December 2019, 10 months before the story broke. It was seized as part of an ongoing federal investigation into his tax liabilities.
So how did Gianni? So is your assertion that they were doing they were investigating the tax liability? They don't verify the contents of the laptop. Gianni, how does Gianni get his hands on it?
Giuliani got it from the guy who got it in the first place, the laptop.
Cypher gifting one more. Is Supreme gonna catch it? Is Supreme gonna catch this one more, or is somebody gonna get greedy and take it? Ooh, FMJ swiped it.
Repair guy, which is how the FBI
So did Giuliani have it first before the FBI did?
How the hell do I do that? Oh, Cypher gifting another 5. Wicked Supreme, slow hands are going to prevent him from getting it. Another 5. Is there going to be people waiting? Myra's to catch it. FMJK catch it. Bernie catching it. Iron Hand catching it. Bob Snatch catching it. Amanda Spear catching it. Ooh, again, too slow, old man.
Yes.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so did he duplicate it or some shit? What the fuck was his?
Did Giuliani say he did duplicate it, or am I missing that?
Cypher is trying to hand it over, dude. Wait, do I actually? You literally have to claim it manually, Supreme. Unironically, it is trash. You have to opt in to getting the sub. That's how it works. Them's the rules.
He got copied.
Conspiracy brain, you piece of shit. Come with facts.
No, wait, hold on, stop. I'm not conspiracy branding. I believe it was stated explicitly. Well, no, but I don't appreciate the comparison because I do come with facts, okay? You're the one that has no facts. I'm pretty sure that Giuliani did explicitly state that. I thought that they gave a copy initially to the FBI, didn't they? They didn't give the FBI the original, I thought, originally.
They gave a copy. They gave a copy of the laptop and the hard drive under grand jury subpoena. But Giuliani got a copy too. Giuliani got a copy
Edward
of it for
steals
himself,
it.
and then the FBI took seizure of it in December 2019.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this is what's weird to me. Okay, call it weird. You don't have to call it a conspiracy.
Hold up, we're gonna stop the stream another second to just say this. Like the damn stream. Put a like on the fucking stream if you're enjoying the content, or if you're somewhat even engaged with it at all. Put a like on the fucking stream. I know there are many of you who haven't done it already. Number 1. Number 2, everybody in chat right now, put something in there. 1, 2, whatever. Put something in chat if you're here. I want to see how many green names versus gray names we have. Because there's been 35 gifted fucking memberships this stream. I want to see how many people are gray names versus green names. That's a lot of gray, bro. What the fuck? I feel like, what the fuck? God damn. I thought like half of you would be green at this point. It feels like there's been, god damn, I have a lot more chatters than I thought, honestly. Damn, like 50% of you niggas are fucking chatters. That's insane. When you're on Twitch and you have like 300 viewers, you get like 40 chatters, like 50 chatters, right? Maybe 100. It feels like right now, I have like 150 people chatting. Actually, I think I can check.
If they know that Giuliani got this shit, maybe got it from the Russians, bullshit story, whatever. They know that he has a copy of it and that he has access to damning evidence of the other political opponent. Like, maybe the FBI is backed up with counterterrorism shit or whatever the fuck. But how in an election year is that not the absolute priority that the Trump campaign is sitting on a fucking nuke?
I don't know that the FBI knows.
We be lurking?
I don't know that the FBI...
some of you be lurking for sure.
Knew at the time that Giuliani had a copy of it, because again, this was December 2019. Giuliani didn't drop the bomb of his copy until October 2020. And as a matter of fact, since you were in law enforcement and so was Supreme or whatever, whatever, but I wouldn't it be...
Who made that? Who made that? Who?
Supreme or whatever.
I was not in law enforcement.
Whatever, but...
was that a real dead body? That's got to be a fake one, right?
Wouldn't Giuliani be in deep shit if the FBI knew, like, hey, wait, you have a copy of sensitive materials, Hunter Biden's like laptop and private information. You have a copy of it. Wouldn't they take it from Giuliani?
If that was the real deal, that is so fucked. I don't know if that's the real deal.
Wouldn't Giuliani be in legal trouble if they?
That's crazy. Those are offline memes. Those are offline memes for sure. That is not sanctioned memes. Those are offline only. Yeah, that's some like Discord private shit for sure.
I mean, there's like a chain of custody. You're supposed to maintain like the evidence as it goes through a criminal investigation, but I don't know what Giuliani's responsibilities would be since he's not a criminal investigator.
Like if the FBI is investigating Destiny and I have a copy of Destiny's like private laptop or whatnot given to me by Wicked Supreme, they would say, Wicked Supreme, why the hell did you give a copy of Destiny's private shit to Rumen? I don't think the FBI knew that Giuliani had copies of Hunter Biden's hard drive and laptop, because there's still the chain of custody and whether or not it was illegally obtained.
So, all right, I feel like you're treating me relatively charitably. Do you think that it's possible that Trump and Giuliani were incompetent and stupid enough to talk shit
you had me right there.
About the Hunter Biden sex tape that they were waiting on in order to drop immediately before the fucking election cycle in order to damage the Biden campaign, and that people in DC in general, not the FBI or the DHS, but other people might know about the story before it dropped a week or two?
Well, number one, that was absolutely their goal. It was supposed to be an October surprise, a bad faith political nuke dropped at the 11th hour to tank Biden's trajectory in the election. That was their goal. As to whether or not other actors in the Trump campaign or the White House or the federal government was aware of that, I mean, I'm sure it's possible. I would not rule that out at all.
So if you believed me, okay, hypothetical if you believed me that the DOD hid troops from Trump, in that most people who encountered Trump thought that he was an incompetent buffoon who was unfit for the fucking office, that some people might prefer, like I'm not even going to make an assertion about the election.
I can entertain the possibility of just show me evidence that it happened.
Okay, I don't have evidence.
Well, to answer
this is an opinion. What's that?
Are you asking?
No, actually, I want to. No, I was just going to play the fucking thing where I walk you through my fucking logic, and you can just say, yeah, that sounds okay. So hold on, Supreme. So I'm making inferences based off of available evidence that I feel are more logical than the rest of fucking conservatism, okay? Because conservatives are making the assessment that DHS and fucking FBI are in direct cahoots, that they had back channel communications that were not visible through the fucking, through the Twitter leaks, that they specifically
you're alleging that they did a little wink, nudge, and they got their way incidentally, and then everybody was happy or something. Yeah, with the story being suppressed. But like, even that is, we have evidence that contradicts that, right? We have a story already.
I don't think your evidence says what it thinks it says, or what you think it says.
Okay.
So your evidence, Matt Taibbi saying that there was no specific DM from a DH.
I don't care what Matt Taibbi says. I actually don't give a fuck. I don't consider what Matt Taibbi says to be evidence of anything.
Cypher gifting 5, and Supreme still doesn't get it. Zach catching it, Arcade catching it, Miss Mortician catching it, Zoltan catching it, and Ads catching it. Nice. I just don't have a thing to accept it. Lol. Nope. You're old and slow. That's what it is, right? I can be ageist on this platform. The fuck is that, Tobecell?
It's literally not evidence, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
It's what they released for evidence. Yesterday, you called the Twitter files release conservative right-wing propaganda. Yes, correct?
I did.
Okay, so does it stand to reason then, if you believe that you also believe that they're choosing the pieces of evidence that best draw their narrative, that something was happening within Twitter that conservatives would be happy about, something surreptitious, some sort of like cloak and dagger, undercover behind the scenes, sabotaging of Donald Trump and conservatives, and like artificial boosting of liberals, if it's right-wing propaganda?
God, it's so gross when Destiny drinks Soylent and you can literally hear him like, his throat, you can hear that when he's doing, dude, it's slimy, bro.
Yes.
Sabotaging of Donald Trump and conservatives, and like artificial boosting of liberals, if it's right-wing propaganda.
Yes.
Okay, the evidence that they're showing us contradicts that. The evidence that they showed us was internal discussions where they're discussing having caution because of what happened in 2016, right, which is likely referring to the Cambridge Analytica leaks and the blowback that Facebook received, and the general sort of misinformation campaigns that were waged on social media. I'm reading into that a little bit, but I don't think we disagree that that's probably what they referred to when they were talking about the lessons of 2016, unless you have another idea. Okay.
No, so, yeah, go ahead.
They are not saying anything about any sort of liaising with DHS.
It's a good meme, Tobe. It's a good meme.
Or FBI, it's not mentioned at all. Isn't it safe to assume that, like, if it was, we would have been shown that, since we both agreed that it was right-wing propaganda? If there was anything condemning for the FBI or the DHS, wouldn't we just have some evidence?
Okay, so if you actually want to go nitty-gritty on it, so I don't think that you can use SIGINT fucking domestically, right? And if you could, you probably couldn't use it, and fucking Matt Taibbi or Elon Musk, they wouldn't have the access to it, okay?
Wait,
Elon
Musk bought the whole company. They have all the internal documents.
So they have all of their phones. They didn't have to get a subpoena. They got the text messages. They got all that shit. And on top of that, Matt Taibbi and fucking whoever they've been able to go through it.
Well, I don't know if they've gone through it all, but I mean, to Wicked's point, anything that were company assets.
If it's a company issued phone, you don't know whether or not it's a company issued phone. You don't know if it's a private phone.
Yeah, private conversations off company assets.
I see.
Okay, just to make it clear, what you're alleging is there's this thing that we don't even know if they had private phones, but they probably did because this supports my narrative or something like that.
No. And if I could just, for the love of God, be taken fucking half-ass fucking serious for a second, okay? When you start an investigation, you start with a fucking blank slate, right? You don't know shit about luck. Excuse me?
You can start with a hypothesis. That hypothesis is usually grounded in some reality.
No, let me explain it. Okay. So starting from a fucking, like, a law enforcement investigation standpoint, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You start an investigation from a point of zero context, okay? And you add in the context as you get into an investigation.
So hang on.
Up on the scene. Hold on. No. Don't challenge me. I'm telling you how I fucking.
I need this to be clarified.
Okay.
What does it mean to start something with zero context? You literally dream up that a crime was committed?
I'm literally about to clarify. Can you please let me talk? Okay. So you're rolling up to a fucking scene.
Yeah, shut up, Supreme.
There's a woman crying on the fucking street. There's a dude who has fucking marks on his face. There's glass that's fucking shattered on the ground. He says that she came after me with a fucking frying pan, blah, blah, blah. She says that, oh, he beat me, he threatened me, he choked me, et cetera, okay? From there, you start looking into the evidence that's available in front of you. You basically start looking at physical marks. You get the narratives from the people separate from each other. You make sure that they're not within earshot of each other so they can't change their story. If there's independent witnesses, you get the independent witnesses. If there's documents, photos, broken glass, physical evidence of anything, one, you take a picture of everything. Two, if it's valuable, like it's blood evidence or some kind of DNA shit or fingerprints that's relevant to the investigation, you pull all of that and then you bring it in.
You're collecting catalog evidence, yeah.
Okay, stop pretending that you know what I'm going to say and then ask me what I'm going to say. Okay?
I'm phrasing for you, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, appreciate it. I hope everybody understood it at home. So, anyways, after you do that, you're not looking for the information that's being presented to you, you're looking for the gaps in the information. So for instance, if they said that they slammed into this wall or whatever, and he's saying that they were outside at the time, but she's saying that they were inside at the time, and the glass breaks outside of the house because of the way that fight would have occurred, you would know that she was probably telling the truth more than him because of the way the glass breaks. Okay? So you're not just relying on simple, like, discrete data points that you add up into like a perfect amount.
You are though. From the very beginning, you started with discrete data points. Glass on the ground, an injured man, an injured woman, testimony between the two. That's way more than zero context. That's a fuck ton of context. And you're right. You work to identify knowledge gaps, and you work to close those knowledge gaps with evidence.
Yes, and what I've been saying probably this entire conversation is that I have 85%, and this is part of the reason why I got so fucking pissed off, is 85% of the picture, the context, the variables. I agree with Destiny on. We agree on 85% of the...
That's not true. Please stop saying that.
I'm going to keep fucking saying it because I feel like you're full of shit.
You're dreaming up a bunch of the variables and you can't substantiate them.
So there's the remaining 15%, and I'm on Twitch. I'm not a federal investigator with access to SIGINT humans who like rubs elbows with people in the DC Beltway.
Okay, then you shouldn't be credentialing yourself when you have these talks.
Credentialing myself how?
By talking about I have all this experience writing these reports and doing investigation and like closing these cases myself or whatever.
I do. And it's relevant to my thought process.
Do you think Counterpoints will investigate his own absolute murder on this call by Wicked, Straighterate, and Cherry, Kick and Chad? That's a good meme. You're a piece of shit for adding me, though, and making me read it.
It's not applicable. It's totally different.
How? I know how to critically think.
Okay, when you say this is just a Twitch panel, what you're telling me is that you know that it's irresponsible to conduct analysis in this way in a professional manner, so you shouldn't be professionally credentialing yourself.
I'm not in a professional manner, and I'm no longer in the profession.
Okay, so just to make it really clear that you're affirming that this is like not a professional way to conduct these things, and so like credentialing your professional credentials are irrelevant.
If I know how, if through my professional credentials, I know how to read documents, understand them, regurgitate them, look for patterns, and figure out what the fuck is going on, how is that not relevant to the conversation?
Because you're saying in a professional setting you wouldn't do them this way, which is in contrast, in direct contradiction to the credentials.
Okay, so no, it's not in direct contradiction to the credentials, because basically I've made concession after concession after concession that this is my opinion based off of the available information.
But Supreme's point is supposed to be, if you recognize that you wouldn't do such things in a professional context, that would necessarily, well, I mean, assuming the necessary leap there would be that because due to some lack of professionalism or some specific explicit reason for not doing it in a professional context because it's not legitimate or whatever, and by citing your credentials as having done it, you should then apply the same professional standards to whatever you're citing your air of authority over, right? If you say, like, for instance, if I'm a plumber and I say I'm a professional plumber and I'm talking to somebody about their plumbing, I should probably conduct the evidence or the advice that I give somebody with that same level of professionalism that, you know, befits the job. And I shouldn't go like, yeah, I'm a plumber, and when they ask for advice on plumbing, I just give them haphazard advice that I couldn't give in a professional setting. Probably not wise. Especially in a public context. Hey, frijoles! Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you. Is that's a 2-month member badge? Why did it say only welcome to tier 1? Read me, ooh, you can't help, but fuck you.
I'm sorry, but you're walking this back. You're copying out so hard because earlier you were saying these are baby step logical leaps, and you would be stupid not to accept them as fact.
Not to accept them as fact. No, not to accept them as plausible or possible.
No, you came in saying that it was basically a proven fact that the FBI yada yada this, that, the other.
At this point, the reason why I'm so frustrated is because I can't believe that you think I'm that retarded. So what you're saying is you think that without evidence, I am saying 100% this happened.
You're saying they're baby steps in logic, and it shouldn't be hard to accept. And
okay, so let me walk you through. Okay, so let me walk you through your fucking baby steps. Okay, do you think that tech bros have progressive fucking leanings?
Yep.
Do you think that they would prefer Biden over fucking over Trump?
Yep.
Do you think that Trump is incompetent?
Dang, it depends on it depends on how we qualify.
The answer is yeah. By the way, the answer is yeah. You don't need to qualify this.
Just I think he's capable of achieving things that I don't want. He's competent in the direction that I don't want, but he's also incompetent in.
He's not capable of achieving.
Do you think he's a competent commander in chief? Do you think he's a competent commander of defense forces or security?
I don't want him to be president. That's the best way I can answer that.
Okay, you're being a fucking pussy.
His values are contradictory to mine.
Okay, his values are contradictory to mine. By the way, the answer to that question was yep. Okay, so some people in the defense establishment and the intelligence establishment, lifelong bureaucrats who believe in the republic, might view Trump as
True, L, Wicked Supreme.
A danger to the republic and therefore prefer Biden over Trump.
Boo.
Interesting story, but we have the internal communications between those tech bros. Even if I agree that the tech bros are left-leaning or something like that, we saw their hot debates between them about whether or not they should publish the story.
Let me re-ask you this question. You Walmart as a fucking employee and your boss is a dickhead.
I'm just not interested in the evidence you made up in your mind. I'm just not interested in your logical leaps.
You said you interested in the evidence. No, fuck this, Ruminate. Fuck this. You said you
want to be Wicked Supreme. Thanks for becoming a member. You kind of fucking ruined it, dumbass. The whole point was that you wouldn't become a member and they'd waste all their time throwing out random memberships to the stream to juice the numbers. That was the whole fucking point, you dumb fuck. But thanks for subscribing! God, you're not as smart as you claim to be, man. God, fuck you, loser. But thank you for joining as a member.
To walk you through my bait.
I didn't say that.
Okay, so you didn't want me to walk you through the fucking baby steps?
I've already heard it.
No, you fucking haven't, because we never walked down this path of fucking logic before, and on top of that, you're pulling back from things that would be like, the sky is blue most of the time. That's like the level of thing that I'm trying to get.
That's an ordinary claim.
So you think it's an extraordinary claim that members of the DOD and members of the intelligence agency would view Trump as a threat to the republic and that they dislike him from a professional standpoint? That is an extraordinary claim.
That's not like, no. This is the issue.
Hey, Skylar, what is the Hutchery? Thank you for the first time sub and primer inside of the Twitch offline chat. Thank you, Skylar. Appreciate it.
Is that like you take these observations that are almost for sure true,
but you don't realize how fantastic the next step is. That seems so logical to you, but is actually like the Bayesian on this is almost 0% because you are alleging some of the most fantastic conspiracies that would ever occur in US history. You're saying things like, would the FBI be full of people that hate Trump? Yeah, for sure. Is Trump incompetent as fuck? Yeah, for sure. Would Twitter be full of people that hate Trump? Yeah, for sure. Could there be some people in the FBI that would like want to do something to make it so that Trump wasn't president? Yeah, for sure. Would they want to work with Twitter? Yeah, if they could. Maybe some would. But then you say, is it possible that multiple people from the FBI got together, used intelligence information that they'd gathered to covertly sell a story to Twitter, and then got Twitter to go along with covering up something in order to favor a presidential candidate? What you feel like when you're saying is that you feel like you're doing 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%, and you build up to like 85%, and then here's the last 15%, and then boom. But what you're actually doing is you're doing 0.1%, 0.1%, 0.1, and then at the final one you're saying 95%. You just don't understand how massive that last leap you're making, and that's where all of our disagreements are lying. Because that last one to you, it feels like you're going from 85 to like 100%. That's why you keep.
I want to see how Connor, it feels like Connor's about to say no, that he's not doing this. I just want to know exactly where the differences lie. Can you say, am I black enough for you? There you go. Get wrecked. Thank you. Ahrelevant, I have inside knowledge that Wicked Supreme was personally forced by the FBI to subscribe. Trust me, bro. Well, I know the, several defense departments or several, intelligence agencies will be looking over my PayPal account now. Thanks, Wicked Supreme. Fucking weirdo. Seems like his subscription was racially motivated. I think Wicked Supremacists sabotaged you. Probably true. I hear he says the N-word. Still playing PoE? How is your Bone Shatter build going? It wasn't very fun. It was very fun at the beginning, and then it got very unfun. So I actually started playing a Frozen Legion Glacier Hammer build, the new Frozen Legion ability. That's been quite a bit of fun. I tried to ground up build it myself. It's actually been going pretty well. I've been having a lot of fun with it, but don't really have much time to play video games anymore. Unlucky. I'm saving all of my good boy points, and by that I mean all of my days off of streaming, whatever shit, days off of the gym. I'm trying to save all of that for Tarkov. So I'm trying to do everything, a whole bunch, trying to code a bunch. So that way, when Tarkov comes out, I'm taking time to myself. I'm only going to take 1 day off of streaming, but like I'm going to take time off of coding. I'm going to make time. Going to probably take time out of the gym, unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, maybe I probably shouldn't cut.
Saying we agree with 85% of the stuff, but to everybody in here, or at least me and Supreme, what we're hearing is you're going from all the way up to 5% to 100%. That's where the difference comes from, and that's why we want some kind of proof. What is that 5% to 100% is alleging? And when we say conspiracy, this is how Supreme and I mean it. We don't mean conspiracy like whoa wacky conspiracy. We mean a conspiracy, and there's a contrived, a hatched plot by multiple members of intelligence to coordinate with social media to backstab the sitting president of the United States to favor an incoming president. That is one of the most wild stories in U.S. history. Was true. Maybe the most. Like it's more scandalous than Watergate, right?
That's not what I'm talking about.
So like that's all I'm saying.
It's not more scandalous than Watergate. It's not even more scandalous than how fucking Lincoln got elected in the Republican primary.
Okay, you're just wrong.
Mild shit.
Can you think of a single story that would compare to this that was real?
What did I say the FBI and DHS fucking social media reps did? What did I say that they did?
You said that they knew a bad story was coming out that would impact an incoming presidential candidate, and that they reached out.
And they said, hey, social media companies, look out for Russian disinformation in the next couple of days.
Yes, with the intention of
you don't think that they have some level of fucking plausible deniability if it ends up that
we're not going to connect on this. All the questions that you want to ask, you don't think this is, we all agree that those things are possible. It's the contriving of this plan. There is not a single plot you can give me that's happened in the past 30 years that is even remotely that insane. Like nothing. You
Dude, I literally brought up one from the past 5 that happened under Trump's watch.
Wait, what?
That the fucking DOD was cooking the books on fucking troop levels in Syria. You can sigh all the fuck you want, and on top of that, you can act like I'm fucking crazy. But here's the thing, like, all of my inferences are, like, you can say, okay, basically you're saying 0.01, it's not 0.01, it's 5. And then it's 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. We get up to like 75, 80, and we're agreeing with each other, and then I'm using the remaining fucking 20% in order to infer human behavior based off of my experiences within institutions in order to fill in the fucking 20% as my opinion, by the way.
Wait, do you actually not know what cutting is, Living Dream? I'm just talking about cutting, like, exercise shit, like cutting fat. I don't think I bulked enough, though. I should probably be like 210 or 220 before I cut any.
Just my an opinion, having an opinion out loud in public, which compared to the rest of the fucking lunatics that I fucking deal with on the right and the fucking left, this opinion is infinitely more fucking based off of human interaction and professional fucking experience than half the dog shit the rest of these fucking cunts say. So I'm actually really interested.
Wait, just to be clear, what you're saying flies in the face of anybody that has ever worked in any of these communities ever, and I am 100% confident.
Bullshit.
I could bring
Bullshit.
on,
Make a $10,000 bet on that.
I could bring on any single person that has ever worked in intelligence, and here is what they'll tell you. They'll tell you, I don't even think I've talked to
that they all follow the one fucking rule that Supreme brought up because they're perfect little fucking automatons who don't have opinions.
Here's what real human beings, I don't know what Supreme will say. If he disagrees with me, he's wrong, because I've heard this from other people. Here's what they'll tell you. 99% of people working in Intel are normal Americans. They like their country. They want to do a job. They do the best that they can. Some of them really don't like the president. Some of them really like the president, but they typically show up, they do their work, they report to people above them, and that's it at the end of the day. That this idea that like it's all like Hollywood movies where all of these like these like frontline intel seekers are like trying to covertly grab up pieces of data and coordinate with other people, and they don't even have the full picture of this shit going on sometimes, right? And they're trying to hatch these plots. That is not only is that fantastical, but it betrays the average member that works in U.S. intelligence, who's just a normal American that like what you're talking about is some high level conspiratorial brain shit that most people working in intel just won't. These types of people.
I'm talking about people. No, this is bullshit. Okay. I'm talking about people who have bachelor's degrees in geopolitics, in fucking history, in science, in fucking all this other shit, in order to go work in a field that they're interested in. Not only are they interested in it, they're recruited from fucking elite level fucking like selection processes. Some of them involving physical fucking requirements, and a lot of them requiring mental requirements and academic requirements. Not only that, I'm talking about no. I'm talking about fucking people who basically spend their entire lives eat, breathing, and fucking sleeping geopolitics, counterterrorism, violence, and politics inside the fucking beltway. The fact that you're dismissing these people as fucking I don't know, DMV employees, that is fucking disconnected from reality.
So I'm gonna make this guess here, and again, Supreme. Now this one I'm not as confident of, and Supreme thinks I'm wrong. But my guess is that the average intel worker is a lot closer to a DMV worker than a Tom Clancy secret agent.
Supreme, do you want to cite your professional credentials, or do I need to cite them for you?
If you want to, but real quick, I would just say that Destiny's characterization, I think matches my experience and my coworkers. In fact, like when I was there, I literally, like, I said that like the NSA was like a blue collar, it was like working a blue collar job because of the people. It was like the blue collar intel agency because people were just like so blue jeans and fucking whatever to work and like normal people.
Yeah. Intercepting fucking intel and translating it through multiple languages in order to find people through
yeah, they had jobs.
Hold on. Recognizing flight patterns and star patterns in order to pinpoint terrorists in order to hit them with bombs. It's just working fucking 9 to 5 guys.
A lot of them came through the military and were like picked up and recruited through the military.
Yeah, so what did you just say that disagrees with what the I just said?
Like you're trying to highlight all these special skills as if only an incredibly interested person in ousting a president in like an internal coup would possibly be interested or something.
You're reading
like that.
So much shit into this. Listen to the words I'm saying and not the words
that kind of is how you're presenting it. That these are like extra exceptional crazy fucking people that like they're not. They're like just normal dudes that like work.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. FBI, CIA, DHS, they're all just fucking normal people. As a matter of fact, we can take a Walmart employee right now and just fucking throw them into the job, and they would be perfectly fucking good at it.
The fact that you would utter DHS in the same statement as FBI and CIA is fucking hilarious. Okay.
Department of Homeland Security. Excuse me, is the fucking Coast Guard a part of the Department of Homeland Security?
Bro, the TSA.
Do they have intel? Do they intercept terrorists? Do they fuck with narcos? Do they kill people? Do they shoot people?
Alright, sorry, fuck. I just got the, it's getting late anyway. I said I wasn't gonna finish the thing. I just got the message to go to the gym. And, yeah, I gotta go wake up my brother because I'm assuming the reason why my friend messaged me to go to the gym is because my brother is actually not awake and didn't get the message. So, it's actually been, hell of a time. I'll finish this video. I got, like, close to an hour left on the video. So, yeah, I gotta eat before I go as well. Need fuel. I'm just gonna have to fucking choke down some bread. So yeah, I want to say thank you to all of the member energy, the gifting energy, the dono energy inside of the chat. There's been a lot of love here. Cypher giving quite a bit of love. Many other individuals as well giving quite a bit of love to the stream. I want to thank you so much for that. It matters a lot to me. Very, very much. It goes primarily to me right now fucking eating, because eating to go to the gym is insane. It has quadrupled my fucking cost of how much I spend on food. It is going to that, actively repairing my house to get to the point of selling my house, to building up funds that way I can go to a boot camp. It's going to cost me roughly $15,000, and then my brother another $15,000. Is what it's going to cost to be able to put us through this boot camp, so that way we can hopefully get started on a good career for the rest of our lives. Hopefully. We'll take a look at it, though. We'll see how it shakes out. We'll see how if it doesn't. And that's currently what I'm spending the vast majority of my funds on. So I want to say thank you so much to the individuals that contribute to the stream. I do have to go, though. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully a little bit earlier. I say this every single fucking time, but, fingers crossed, hopefully a little bit earlier, because I do stream a little bit later than I'd like. And maybe we can get a little something going. Thank you to everybody who was hanging out. Thank you to everybody for all the sub love, dono love, chat love, liking the video and stuff like that. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day, yeah? All right, see you later. Bye.